After 2 games at home, the Mariners will hit the road again for 8 straight in a stretch of 10 days. And it all starts right here in the Irish Hills of Michigan, the home of the Leprechauns. Hello, I'm Donovan Mann, the voice of the Grand Lake Mariners, live from Siena Heights University Baseball Field as the Mariners will take on the Leprechauns in their home territory. The home team is coming off of a game yesterday in which they lost 3-2. The game only went 5 innings, however, as rain chased them off the field and into the loss column. The Mariners, meanwhile, are on a 2-game winning stance, sweeping the Green Giants this past weekend. However, unfriendly confines have been very unkind to the Mariners. They are 0-4 on the road in just 4 games this season. The bats have been hot, though. That hasn't really been the problem. Their most recent game on the road, the Mariners recorded 11 hits, but they also left 14 on base, which along with those 8 errors that they recorded in Lima, will never amount to wins at home, let alone on the road. The Mariners will be looking for their first road win and get back above 500 with their record currently sitting at 4-4. Leprechauns are currently sitting at 3-6 after yesterday's loss. It's Mariners and Leprechauns right here on YouTube. And here is your starting lineup. First for your Mariners. Leading off today will be Blake Crossing. He had Sunday off. He'll be playing shortstop today. Jaron Lovely, the right fielder, batting second. Batting third, it'll be Chris Myers, the third baseman. Logan Adams, the catcher, batting cleanup today. Ryan Stacy, center fielder, batting fifth. Batting sixth will be Joshua Riggs out in left field. Reminder, he is a starting pitcher, but sometimes he plays out in left field. He has not played in left field since Game 2, however, against the Richmond Jazz. Batting seventh will be Jake McCall, playing first base. The designated hitter, Jared Morello, batting eighth. And then Jack Coney batting ninth at second base. On the mound to start today for the Leprechauns, it will be Jeremy Spezia, a right-hander. Spezia has made 1 appearance thus far, wearing number 6. He went 3 innings. It was a start. He is standing at 6'3" from Clinton Township, Michigan. On the season, he has a 9 ERA in just those 3 innings pitched. He's allowed 1 extra base hit, struck out 2, walked 3. He attends Bowling Green State University, where he'll be entering his 2nd season. He's a sports management major. At college, he had 19 appearances with 2 starts. He went 1-1 with 34 third innings pitched, a 6.55 ERA, and 18 punch-outs. Mariners have... Actually, correction, I mentioned that the Leprechauns were 3-6. They're actually 3-7. I was given misinformation on that. We'll set that defense here now behind Spezia. First out in left field. We'll start left fielder. It'll be Gunnar Rainey. In center field, it will be Preston Pilot. In right field, it will be Parker, first name Joshua. Now, starting from first base, it'll be Adam Furness. At second base, it'll be Tommy Toll. At shortstop, it'll be Tommy Hellis. And then at third base, playing the 5 spot, it'll be Thomas Miller. And then doing the catching here today, it'll be catcher Jackson Peterson. Spezia has not had a great start to the inning with the year with the 9 ERA. I remember, since I do go to Bowling Green, I've had the experience of watching him play and broadcasting him at Bowling Green. I can remember he did struggle with command at times at Bowling Green, and we'll see how he does here today, getting his 2nd start on the season. Blake Crossing will now step up. He's a switch hitter. A little bit more on Blake Crossing. Switch hitter infield, standing at 6'1" from Noonan, Georgia. Attends Dartmouth College. This game was moved up about a half hour, by the way, if you guys are tuning in, listening. Possibly some rain showers coming in, trying to get this game started. And here we go. Here comes Blake Crossing. Stepping in. Spezia will gather, and he will deliver. This will be outside, but it looks like they will call it a strike. It looks like it caught the outside of the plate. For Crossing, he's hitting .250 on the season, with a .400 on-base percentage, having 1 extra base hit, 4 RBIs as he catches the outside here again for strike 2. Tell you what, those first 2 pitches look just a bit outside to me, but they're 50-50 balls a lot of the time. They're going to call them strikes, I guess, here for now, as this one will miss outside, and it does miss this time, 1-2 the count, as Blake Crossing, who spent a lot of time in the leadoff spot for the first 4 games, and in the first 3 games, and in the 4th game he got moved down to the 2nd spot. Here comes the delivery. Crossing fouls this one off over towards the 3rd base line. The Mariners here today are in their road blues with gray pants, green lettering, white trim. The Leprechauns are in their green jerseys, white trim. As this is the 1-2 delivered outside, 2-2 now the count. So Crossing at Dartmouth this past year, he's a biochemistry major. 33 games with 32 starts with a .319 average. As this one is fouled off here again on the 2-2 by Blake Crossing. .319 average for Dartmouth this past season, was 2nd on the team. He had 11 RBIs as well with .435 on-base percentage. He attended high school at Noonan High, as here Spezia will gather for the 2-2. He will deliver. This will be fouled off again here by Crossing, having a great job here of keeping himself alive, fouling off these pitches. Again, that some umpires will call outside, but these ones, he cannot risk them being called strike 3, so he'll just foul them off and look for the pitch he wants. Mark Kuhn is the umpire behind the mound here, or behind the plate, calling the balls and strikes as Spezia will deliver the 2-2. This one will be outside and load up the count at 3-2. Crossing will be looking to draw the leadoff walker, get a base hit here from Spezia will gather, get his sign set, and deliver. This one will be fouled off on the payoff pitch, so 3-2 the count remains. The gather here on the 3-2. Here comes another payoff pitch from Spezia. This one will be hit and goes into right center field and down for a hit. A leadoff single here for Blake Crossing, the shortstop, and that'll bring up Jaron Lovely, the right fielder. Jaron Lovely for your Mariners, wearing number 43, left-handed batter, 6'1" from Slayersville, Kentucky. Attends Marshall, where he's a cytotechnology major. On the season thus far, he's a .304 hitter with a .500 on-base percentage. He's got 2 stolen bases to his name as well. Spezia will look into Peterson to get his sign. Peterson, the catcher. Throw back to first. Crossing getting back safely. The infield here is artificial, except for the mound. The mound is made out of red clay, but the infield here is artificial. There's also no track around. Ball 1 as this one misses outside. Spezia's favorite spot is to try to hit that outside corner. He's not able to get it here on this one. It's 72 degrees, mostly cloudy right now. Some rainstorms threatening the area. We're hoping that they stay away, though, so we can continue to play baseball. 1 ball to no strikes. Here comes the delivery. This one will be fouled off to the backstop here by Jaron Lovely. Jaron Lovely, already mentioned, hitting .304 with a .500 on-base percentage. For Marshall this past season, he had 17 appearances with 1 start, hitting .250 with an on-base percentage of .368. He attended McGoffin College before that. Throw back here to first base. Crossing gets back in time. The count is at 2-1. 1-1. Here comes Spezia. He will gather and deliver on the 1-1. This one will catch. 1-2 now the count. On the 1-2. As Spezia will gather, he will deliver. This one will be hit into right field. It'll get past the second baseman, and now runner at first and second on the single there by Jaron Lovely. Crossing advanced to second on that. Chris Myers, third baseman, stepping up. For Chris Myers, he plays third base. He also played shortstop as well. From Miamisburg, Ohio. He attends Toledo entering his second season. He's a business major there. On the season, he's hitting .269 with a .345 on-base percentage. Three RBIs for Myers here today. Here comes the delivery. This one will catch low. Will not catch the plate. 1-0 the count. Myers has, for Toledo this past season, started 41 games hitting .278, 2 home runs, 18 RBIs. He had a stretch where he reached base for 21 straight games safely. Here comes the 1-0 delivery. This will be swung on, popped back, and out of play. 1-1 now the count. For Myers, he's spent a lot of time anywhere in this lineup. Very flexible, the lineup for the Mariners. They've moved players all over. Where they haven't shifted them a lot, though, is defensively. Stacy has played a lot, of course, in left, or in center. In left field, as this one misses out, the count now 2-1. In left field, Riggs has done some time, but primarily it's been Hayden Cart. And then Jaron Lovely has had every start out in right field. Crossing has spent time at third and shortstop. Myers has spent time at third and shortstop. Coney and Diaz have split time at second. This one will be fouled, popped into foul territory, down, and it'll get out of play on the third base side. 2-2 now the count. 2 on, nobody out. The count 2-2. As Chris Myers will step back in, the left-handed batter, Spezia. We'll check back to Crossing at second. Crossing has stolen one base on the season. This one will be fouled off on the 2-2. Again, back-to-back singles to lead off this game for the Mariners as they try to get the first inning going here as rain threatens to approach in the area. Reminder that if this goes, Spezia will foul this one off on the 2-2 again. So Spezia not having a good time here going up against Chris Myers. Or really any of these Mariners batters. It's very similar to the Blake Crossing at bat, where Myers is just doing a great job of fouling these pitches off to stay alive as his count looks at 2-2. He's looking for that pitch he wants. He's looking as Spezia will check back to second before delivering. Catches low and outside. Ball 3, the count is full now. Back-to-back singles reminder to lead off this inning. With nobody out now, Chris Myers is the third batter to hit the plate. Spezia only went 3 innings in his past. And the 3-2 pitch is a walk, so walking the bases loaded now will be Jeremy Spezia to bring up the cleanup hitter, Logan Adams, hitting .500 on the season with a .571 on-base percentage. 3 RBIs to his name. He has a chance to increase that. He's a Dartmouth College attendee where he studies engineering from Knoxville, Tennessee. In college this past season, he appeared in 9 games, going 4 for 8 from the plate as strike 1 catches the inside part of the corner. Logan Adams, the first right-handed batter to face up against the right-handed pitcher in Spezia. As the Mariners now have full bases after back-to-back singles to lead off and then the walk to Myers. This one will be hit well into right, but looks like the right fielder Parks will make it as touching and going. And so Blake Crossing will score, so a sacrifice RBI fly there by Logan Adams. The Mariners take the 1-0 lead here. With 1 out, runners now at the corners, and tagging and advancing on the play was also Jaron Lovely. Staying at first was Chris Myers, though. So with only 1 away, Ryan Stacy, center fielder, now walks up. Expect maybe Chris Myers to consider running. Chris Myers does have 3 stolen bases, so he could consider using his wheels to run here and get into scoring position as well. Another left-hander batter is Ryan Stacy. Stacy, Texas San Antonio. First pitch is missing, low and away. 1-0 now the count. Stacy has played center field for every game this year. He's batting .296 with a .441 on-base percentage, five extra base hits, including 2 home runs, 6 RBIs. Runner goes. The pitch gets dropped there by Peterson, so a stolen base there for Chris Myers. For Myers, that'll be his 4th stolen base of the year. But back to Stacy. For Texas San Antonio, he had 56 games with 48 starts, hitting .274 with 6 home runs, 15 doubles at .353 on-base percentage with 32 RBIs. As this one's hit high into center field and caught there by the center fielder in Pilot, and then scoring here now on the play as another sacrifice fly there for the Mariners on the RBI. Scoring on the play will be Lovely, and then moving over to third on the bobbled catch will be Chris Myers. So back-to-back sacrifice fly RBIs here gives us 2-0 lead to the Mariners in the top of the first here. Joshua Riggs will now step up, the left fielder. Again, he's actually also a starting pitcher. He's officially from the plate, though. 1 for 4. Strike one called here as he looks at it. Catches the outside. 0-1 the count now here. Riggs attends Alma College. He's from Irons, Michigan. Strike 2. 0-2 now the count. Also has an extra base hit to his name. 3 RBIs for Riggs. And 2 stolen base. As the 0-2 pitch just misses inside. 1-2 now the count. Good take there by Riggs. Again, Riggs, he is a starting catcher or pitcher. I assume we'd see him starting here in the next couple days. This one's hit well into center field. Bloops it in there. An RBI single now here for Riggs. Runner now on first in Joshua Riggs. Mariners have the 3-0 lead. For the Mariners, it's good to get this lead early here. Again, on the road, they have really struggled to score runs. Here, that has not been the case. This is looking like the home Mariners here as they have the 3-0 lead, catching the low outside corner of the play here for strike 1. The batter now, Jake McCall, the first baseman, wearing number 50. He hits 154 on the season with the .353 on-base percentage, 2 RBIs, same spot hitting here, 0-2. That's a very favorable spot for Spezia as he's thrown it for mainly strikes or had been fouled off. Jake McCallton's Illinois State, where he had 14 appearances with 12 starts, hitting 182 with a .315 on-base percentage. As this one swung on, tipped back. Joshua Riggs, who got about halfway to second on that, finished his run to second, and then now will jog back to first. 0-2 the count here with 2 outs. Men on first and Riggs. 3-0 your score for the Mariners as Jake McCall will try to get his 3rd RBI. Chance this one will be tapped right to second and thrown over to first for the 4-3 assisted ground out. That will get the Mariners out of this inning, and the Leprechauns can take a sigh of relief. They did let up 3 runs here with 2 hits, no errors, the 1 man left on base. You're listening to Mariners Baseball right here on YouTube. Their starting pitcher for the day will be Michael Parson as they enjoy the 3-0 lead. We'll talk more about him when we come back. You're listening to Mariners Baseball right here on YouTube. Back out to Mariners baseball here. Michael Parsons on the mound here. He's a starting lefty. He actually just joined the team this past week, and this will be his first appearance on the year. Parson is from Dartmouth, by the way. He's the 4th Dartmouth attendee to be on this roster now. And let's see that Irish Hills lineup that he'll be up against. It'll be Preston Pilot, the center fielder, leading off. This Gunnar Rainey, the left fielder, batting second. The DH, Max Mahone. By the way, Max, that's spelled with 2 X's. Don't know why, he thinks he's special. Joshua Parks, right fielder, batting cleanup. Batting fifth will be Tom Impellis, the shortstop. First baseman, Adam Furness, will be batting sixth. Batting seventh, Jackson Peterson, the catcher. Tommy Toll, second baseman, batting eighth. Batting ninth, Thomas Miller. Defense here now behind Parsons to start the day. In left field, it'll be Joshua Riggs. Center fielder, Ryan Stacy. And then right fielder, Jaron Lovely. Third baseman, Chris Meyer. Shortstop, Blake Crossing. Jack Cody on second base. And then on first base, it'll be Jake McCall. Doing the catching today will be Logan Adams. Mariners enjoying a 3-0 lead. Welcome out here to Siena Heights University baseball field. This is where the Leprechauns have some home games. They have a couple other fields, but this is the appearance here for today. Pilot from Rochester Hills, Michigan. Northern Kentucky is where he goes to school, hitting .333 on the season. This one will get away here on Parsons' first pitch. It'll get away from Logan Adams. 1-0 now the count. Not how he wanted his first pitch for Mariners to go. For Pilot, though, he's hit .333 with .469 on-base percentage. A couple of extra base hits. 3 RBIs. A stolen base, also was committed an error. For North, as strike one catches the low part of the zone there, 1-1 now the count. For Pilot for Northern Kentucky, he had 34 appearances with 23 starts, hitting .176. As this one swung on right to the shortstop, Blake Crossing picks it up, throws it over to first. Was a high throw, and they will say that he got down there. It was a high throw. McCall had to jump up and get there, but they're saying just as McCall got down, he got onto the bag just in time to catch out Pilot. So it's a 6-3 assisted ground out, and Gunnar Rainey, with nobody on, 1 out, will step in. For Rainey, he wears number 2. Standing for 5'10", bats right. As the left-hander will gather. For Parsons, will deliver. This will be low and inside, ball 1. Rainey is hitting .500 on the year with a .600 on-base percentage. 1 home run to his name, 7 RBIs. He attends Adrian. 46 appearances as he hits this one off the bat into right field. Tracking it and making the catch will be Jaron Lovely. There are 2 away. On the F9 there are 2 away, and Max Mahanon, the designated hitter, will now step up. The bats here, if you look statistically wise for the Leprechauns, that is what goes for them. Their bullpen has struggled at times, which is why they've given up some leads in recent history. But their bats are strong. More than half the roster hits above 300 when they bat. And that is working in their favor when they win. As this one catches low side of the zone, low inside part of the zone there. Strike 1, 0-1 the count. For Max Mahone, the designated hitter, here are some numbers for you as this one is missing high. Ball 1, 1-1 the count. For Mahanon from Pikeville, Kentucky, on the season hitting .389, 489 on base percentage, 3 home runs and 13 RBIs as he goes on a high fastball, popped up into foul territory. Logan Adams will not be able to get to it. My view is from behind the plate here today, but I am being cut off for a lot of the left field portion. I can lean over, but there's certain spots that are just blind. If I lean over, I catch most of the left field, but a lot of it gets lost if I don't. 1-2 now the count to Mahan from Parsons. Parsons will deliver the 1-2. Swung on, foul tipped to the backstop. The count will remain at 1-2 with nobody on, 2 outs. Here in the bottom of the first, the Mariners enjoying that 3-0 lead. Did that on 2 hits as well, which were back-to-back leadoff singles. This one will be swung on into foul territory down the first. This was slicing very foul. That one was hit well, but was pretty foul all the way. No doubt about that one. Certainly didn't have enough carry to be out of the field either. 1-2 the count. Parsons will gather and deliver. This will be struck well, fouled off towards the first base dugout, and will stay in play. But McCall not able to run over and grab it. 1-2 the count. 2 outs, nobody on, 3-0 your score. Mariners lead here on the road. Again, the Mariners 0 for 4. I'm sure I'll say that plenty of times. You'll probably get tired of hearing it. Stop reminding us, Donovan. But it'll be important for them to prove that they can win on the road here, as this one on the 0-2 is low and in the dirt. 2-2 now the count. Or rather, it's not really dirt. It's low and in the turf here, as the entire infield except for the mound is artificial. The mound is made of red clay. Parsons will deliver. This one will be low and inside as well. 3-2 now the count as it is loaded up. Count now 3-2, and it is full. Max Mahone, the designated hitter. Again, he is a home run machine with 3 home runs already on this early season. He swings and misses there, and that'll be Parsons' first strikeout of the game, of the season of his season for the Mariners. The Leprechauns go in orders. We will now head to the top of the second inning. Due up for the Mariners, it will be designated hitter Jared Morello, Jack Coney, then back to Blake Crossing at the top of the order, as Spezia will step out now for his second inning of work. You are listening to Mariners Baseball with that 3-0 lead here on YouTube. Do not touch that dial. Welcome back out to Siena Heights University baseball field here, as the Mariners lead with a 3-0 lead here in the top of the second. They'll come up to bat. Jared Morello, the designated hitter, due up first. It'll be Jack Coney and then Blake Crossing back to the top of the order. For Morello, hitting .308 on the season with a home run and an extra base hit as well. Every time he has reached, it has been because he has hit. He has 14 RBIs to his name. He attends St. Leo's. He's from Valley Falls, New York. But at St. Leo's College this past year, he did not play, but he transferred from College of St. Joseph's, where he was hitting .345 as a sophomore, and it was a second-team All-American. His high school was Hoosick Valley, where he hit .591 as a senior. But .308 for the Mariners on the season thus far. He splits that designated hitting spot primarily with Fitzsimmons, who we'll not see here today, as this one is thrown, missing outside. Ball 1. That was the spot that was working for Spezia in the previous inning, but let's see if he has it here in this one, as this one will be swung on here by Morello, fouled out of play. 1-1 now the count. Very lefty heavy is this Mariners lineup, as Jared Morello also batting left. As 1-1, here's delivery from Spezia. This will be fouled off and again out of play. 1-2 now the count. As Morello leads off here with the 3-0 lead in the second. Spezia has a favorable 1-2 count low, and it'll be some work here for Morello to reach bases. Here comes the 1-2 delivery. This will be high outside. 2-2 now the count. The 2-2 as Spezia will look in for his sign. He'll set his grip in the glove, step, and deliver on the 2-2. Swung on and missed there by Morello. The first strikeout for Spezia here today. That'll bring up Jack Coney, the second baseman now for the Mariners.
Jack Coney playing second base today. He's 0 for 2 on the season.
0 for 2 thus far with a .500 on-base percentage. This is only his third appearance In his most previous appearance, it was the first game we had against Lima where he struck out and then was pulled from the game. Showing bunt and pulling it back, and they're going to rule that he may have actually gone around with it, trying to avoid being hit there by Spezia. Maybe it tipped off, but he was very close to being hit by that one, as the count now is 0-1. The 0-1 catching the outside of the plate there. 0-2 now the count to Coney. Again, Coney had one strikeout in his last appearance against Lima, and that was all they did for him. They pulled him after only the one at bat. I'm not sure if that was because he struck out when he was a celebratory batter there, where they got 10 cents off of a merchandise item there. On the 1-2 there, swung on and missed. He'll go down swinging. So back-to-back strikeouts there. So back-to-back strikeouts for Spezia now, and he looks a lot better in this inning. But it was Blake Crossing who led off the game with a single, who started a inning of misery for Spezia. He came around to score on Logan Adams' sacrifice fly. Here comes the delivery now. This will catch and miss the outside of the plate there. 1-0 the count. Again, that was a spot that was working for Spezia. Perhaps now they've moved the strike zone a little bit in between innings now, as this will be cut on and missed here to even up the count now at 1-1 by Blake Crossing. Again, 1-for-1 on the day with that single back in the first. This is his second at-bat of the second plate appearance as well in just as many innings. Here comes the delivery. This will be outside clearly. 2-1 now the count. Perhaps Spezia has Blake Crossing's single to lead off the game in his mind. 2-1 now the count to him, as this one will miss outside again. Again, he's trying to find that spot where he had in the first inning, where if he hit it, it was a strike that hitters really couldn't get to, but it's now 3-1 with 2 outs, nobody on, 3-0 to score here for the Mariners. Here comes the delivery. This one will be hit well into left field, but running in and making the catch will be Rainey, and the Mariners go in order. With a back-to-back strikeouts, then an F7 that took down Blake Crossing, we will now head to the bottom of the second with the Mariners leading 3-0. It'll be Michael Parsons coming back out, the left-hander. 2 up. It'll be Joshua Parks, Tommy Pellis, and Adam Furness for the Leprechauns. You're listening to Mariners Baseball right here on YouTube. Do not touch that keyboard or close out that window. I'll be right back. So Michael Parsons, the left-hander, will come back out here for a second inning of work. From Dartmouth College he is. Due up here for the Leprechauns, the home team at the bottom of the second. It will be Joshua Parks, Tommy Pellis, and then Adam Furness. It'll be Joshua Parks batting left. For Parks, he's hitting 300 on the season. He's from Mason, Michigan. 400 on-base percentage. A couple of extra base hits as Parsons misses here low. Maybe a little bit outside. Ball 1. 1-0 now the count.
Came in the fifth inning, went 1 for 3 on Sunday night in Cincinnati.
For Parks, he has 3 RBIs as he hits this one high into left field, and Riggs will make the catch. 1 up, 1 down here. On the F7, that will bring up Tommy Pellis, the shortstop for the day. Here, Pellis is hitting .429 on the season. He attends the University of Pennsylvania. He's from Greensburg, Pennsylvania, For Penn this past year, he had 21 appearances, 7 starts, hitting 167, 4 RBIs, and an on-base percentage of .302. 5 RBIs to him as Parsons delivers a strike on the outside corner. Batting right is Pellis, by the way. 0-1 the count.
Lefty-righty matchup.
On the 0-1 delivery, this will catch, just miss actually the outside of the plate, possibly a little bit high. 1-1 now the count.
No homers, 6 ribbies.
Parsons will gather, deliver the 1-0 lefty. This will be tapped over to McCall, the first baseman, who will flip it over to Parsons and will cover at first base and get it out on the 3-1 assisted ground out. That'll bring up Adam Furness, the first baseman from Bowling Green State University. For Furness, he also is from Bowling Green. He actually hit at Bowling Green High, so he's a hometown kid there. He's hitting .28 on the year, on the season, with a .379 on-base percentage, 6 RBIs, 1 stolen base for him as well. Furness for Bowling Green this past year had 8 appearances with 1 start, hitting .250. As here comes the delivery, lefty-lefty matchup here, by the way. Catches the outside corner there. 0-1 now the count here to Furness. Parsons has done a great job of having efficient innings here. Has only faced 5 batters and has sent them down. Here comes the delivery, misses the outside corner there. 1-1 now the count. Furness with 6 RBIs, but with nobody on, that's irrelevant with 2 outs. Here comes the delivery. This will be tapped right over to second baseman, who delivers it back to McCall, and he is down on the 4-3. Or for Coney to McCall. Nobody on, with no hits, no runs, no errors left here. And so for the back-to-back innings, Parsons has 1, 2, 3 innings. Due up for the Mariners here to start the top of the third. It'll be right fielder Jaron Lovely, third baseman Chris Myers, and then Logan Adams, the catcher. They will go up against, I assume, would be Jeremy Spezia, the right-handed pitcher, in his third inning of work. You're listening to Mariners Baseball with a 3-0 lead. Thank you for listening. I'll be right back. So Spezia will return back out to the mound for the Leprechauns, I should say. He is, however, though, on a short leash. There is somebody up and throwing in the Leprechauns bullpen here. So for Spezia, as Mariners enjoy the 3-0 lead, as we are now in the top of the third. It'll be Jaron Lovely, 1 for 1 on the day. Then it'll be Chris Myers, who had walked back in the first, and then Logan Adams 0 for 1 with an RBI on the sacrifice fly back in the first. For Jaron Lovely, once he steps up, he will be a left-handed batter, playing out in right field. Lovely again, 304 entering this game. He attends Marshall, cytotechnology major, which is something very fancy, and I should look up what that is. As now Lovely will step in, he flashes a smile to the umpire as he gets into his left-handed batter's box. Cytotechnology is the microscopic interpretation of cells to detect cancer and other abnormalities. So there's that. As this is the first pitch to him, misses outside, 1-0. I'll get you some score updates here from the league here in a second, as this one will be fouled off by Lovely. 1-1. One and one now the count. Lovely from Spezia. Spezia will gather the grip in his glove. He will set and deliver the 1-1. Looking inside, missing 2-1, as now the count with 2 balls, 1 strikes. Here comes the 2-1 delivery. This will be chopped right back to Spezia, the first baseman, who will flip it over to the first baseman there, Furness. BG to BG, Spezia to Furness, or just 1-3 on the assisted ground out. One away now as Jared Lovely goes. Chris Myers walked with a stolen base back in the first. Some scores here from around the league for you. A rain delay for Lake Erie Monarchs and Lima Locos currently. In the top of the first, the Graders are tied at 0 on the road against the Southern Ohio Copperheads, as this first pitch is swung on, fouled off there by Chris Myers. The bottom of the first as well, Cincinnati Steam and Hamilton Joes is tied at 0. Licking County Settlers and Xenia Scouts on the top of the first in Xenia tied at 0. As this one misses the outside of the zone, 1-1. Spezia trying to find that spot again. As this one misses outside, 2-1 now the count here to Myers. For the Muskegon Clippers and Richmond Jazz game that was supposed to happen in Richmond, Indiana, here comes the 2-1 from Spezia, missing outside, 3-1. That was supposed to be in Richmond, Indiana. On our way here, Richmond, Indiana is about maybe an hour and 45 minutes drive from Salina, as this one's popped up high, going foul territory, staying in play, making the catch here will be the catcher Peterson. There's one away on the pop fly there. So with 2 away now, Logan Adams, who was 0 for 1 on the day with a sacrifice fly RBI in the first. It was raining on our way here. Richmond's not that far from Salina. The rainstorms looked like they were heading from the west. Not surprising there that the Richmond game got canceled. If we were playing at home at Montgomery Field, we probably would have been canceled out as well. But rain only threatening here thus far, but it might look like the skies are kind of clearing up a little bit, as here comes the delivery. Logan Adams batting right, missing inside is Spezia. Oh no, it is called a strike as it catches the inside, I guess, of the plate. It looked a little bit inside of me, but 0-1 now the count. Spezia will deliver here now on the 0-1. This will be hit down the third base line, making a diving catch there by Miller, and Miller will throw it over to his teammate Furness to get the 5-3 assisted ground out. What a brilliant play there by the third baseman and Thomas Miller to make that catch and not allow Logan Adams a first base there. We'll now head to the bottom of the third inning, where the Mariners leading 3-0 here from Siena Heights University. Due up here for the Leprechauns, it will be Jackson Peterson, Tommy Toll, and Ryan Miller, the bottom third of the order for the Leprechauns in this inning. Nobody on, no hits, no runs, no errors. Thank you for listening. I'll be right back. Welcome back out here to Siena Heights University. The baseball field. Here's the site for today's matchup between the Leprechauns and your Grand Lake Mariners. Michael Parson returns for his third inning of work as we head to the bottom of the third. He has had a perfect 6 up, 6 down here thus far. He'll be facing the bottom third of the order for Jackson Peterson, Tommy Toll, and Thomas Miller. Jackson Peterson, the catcher, one of 3 catchers on this roster. For Peterson, he's hitting 188 with a 235 on-base percentage. A couple extra base hits for him, 2 RBIs. He's also committed an error from Libertyville, Illinois. He also attends the University of Pennsylvania, where he'll be entering his 2nd season for Peterson for Penn this past season. 14 appearances with 4 starts, hitting 143 with an on-base percentage of 250. As this one's delivered, chopped right to McCall on the first baseline. It'll actually say it fouled off his foot, as he actually went down and now jumps back up. 0-1 in the count here.
Peterson went 0 for 2 in the DH role yesterday. He's behind the plate catching, but he still seems to be in a little bit of pain trying to walk him off.
Peterson trying to walk off that hit off his foot. They don't have as much protective guarding here as you'd think.
0-1 count to him.
Like in the majors, you see practically guys wearing body armor when they're at bat. But here, he has nothing but his shoes and socks on. Here comes the 0-1 delivery from Parsons. This will be a high fastball. 1-1 now the count. For Peterson, looking to get on base here. He was 0 for 2 yesterday as this one misses inside, 2-1. Get you some Major League score updates here now from around the majors. Mariners and Yankees tied in New York at the top of the first, 0-0. Dodgers beat the Cubs in game 1 of a doubleheader, 4-3. In Chicago, this one will be hit into right field. It'll be the first base hit of the day for the Leprechauns on a leadoff single there for Jax Peterson. Get you some World Cup scores here in case any of y'all were interested and didn't get to watch. Japan beat Colombia in an upset there. Colombia had a red card in the 3rd minute of play on an intentional handball in the boxes. Now stepping up to bat will be Tommy Toll. Toll, 273. 273 on the year with a 438 on-base percentage from LaSalle College. He's from Springfield, Pennsylvania, attends LaSalle. Nobody out, runner on first as 0-1 now the count here as this one hits the zone. Parson will deliver. This one will be inside. Great block up there by Logan Adams to keep that one from getting away from him and holding the runner at first. 1-1 now the count. For Toll, 35 appearances for LaSalle with 29 starts, hitting .289 with 16 RBIs. Here comes the 1-1 delivery. This will be tapped off the bat right to the first baseman. Stepping on, McCall will throw over to crossing end. The tag will be delivered. It's a double play there. It was a 3-4 double play. That was a very close play, but great throw there from McCall to crossing, as crossing will get the tag on Peterson to... It was first to the shortstop, so it'll be actually a 3-6 double play. So they are now 2 away here. Swung on and hit towards left field. It'll get down for at least 1 as he will stop and it will hold him to a single with the throw there from left fielder Riggs. So with 2 out now, a single there for Miller to go back to the top of the order and Preston Pilot. Preston Pilot 0 for 1, grounded out in his first at-bat back in the 1st inning. Parsons will step back on, facing his first little bit of adversity here. I say that loosely. The 2nd base hit of the day for the Leprechauns. They matched the 2 hits in the 1st inning by the Mariners. This will be struck well. 0-1 now the count here to Pilot, the center fielder. Parson will now gather the 0-1, 2 outs, checks over to first before he delivers. This will be hit into center field. It could get down. Running and making the play will be Stacy. On the F8 there, that will retire the side here for the Leprechauns. We will now head to the top of the 4th. Ryan Stacy, Joshua Riggs, and then Jake McCall due up. The Mariners lead 3-0. You're listening to their baseball coverage here on YouTube. I'm Don the Man. Do not touch that space bar to pause it. Close out the window. Don't do any of that. I'll be right back. Jeremy Spezia still on the mound here, entering his 4th inning of work. After that 1st inning where he let up 3 runs, He's since had back-to-back 1, 2, 3 innings. Ryan Stacy, Joshua Riggs, and Jake McCall, the first 3-2 up. Ryan Stacy drove in the second run on a back-to-back sacrifice fly with an RBI. He will now get his second at-bat, 0 for 1 on the day to face Spezia, who so far has had an okay day despite giving up the 3 runs at the top of the first. The score is 3-0 here. Thanks to some back-to-back, thanks to some really great defensive play there by the first baseman McCall, stepping on third base, then throwing over to Blake Crossing, who was covering at second, to get a 3-6 double play that cleared off the bases. Of course, one more batter after that. 2 more batters after that. One got a single, and then the other flew out to center. Spezia will now deliver to McCall, the left-handed batter. This will catch, miss outside. Again, it's in that spot that was called a strike earlier, but now the umpire reluctant to give that strike. So 1-0 the count here. This one will be a high fastball, missing 2-0. And so now ahead in the count is Ryan Stacy, again 0 for 1 on the day. But he does have that RBI thanks to the sacrifice fly. Batting left to the righty. Here comes the right-handed pitch from Spezia to the left. This will be swung on and tapped into right field for a base hit. His first base hit of the day. It's a single to lead off the 4th inning here for the Mariners. Joshua Riggs, who had an RBI single in the first inning as well, he got the 3rd run for the Mariners thus far as they enjoy that 3-0 lead. Riggs, by the way, is a starting pitcher. He's 1 for 1 as a starting pitcher.
Mississippi State beats North Carolina 12-2, and Florida beats Texas 6-1.
So here comes the delivery. This one will miss. Low, ball 1-0. Here's some College World Series updates for you if anybody's interested. Mississippi State hammers down on North Carolina 12-2 to advance. And an elimination game as this cut on and missed on the high heat. Here comes the throwback to first to Riggs. Scoreboard reading 0-2. I'm pretty sure it is actually 1-2 here, though. Or 1-1 to Joshua Riggs. But we'll wait for the umpire to confirm. Here comes the delivery. Runners going, and lovely. He will slide in there safely. Great run in there by Ryan Stacy. That was a throw, was a little bit high. He may have gotten his hand in safely. It looked like a great play there. Got a great jump by Ryan Stacy. They'll grant him the stolen base. Joshua Riggs, 1 for 1 on the day.
That's how it goes.
And so now the count 2-1 to him. Check back here to second. Here comes the delivery. This will be cut on and missed for strike 2. So now the count evens up at 2-2. Runner on second is Ryan Stacy after getting the stolen base on a very, very close play, where that if you're a Mariners fan, you'll say it was him. This was swung on, foul back, count will remain at 2-2. Whereas if you're a Mariners supporter or a Mariners broadcast, you're going to say, yeah, he made it in there perfectly fine. Throw was a little high. He definitely got his hand there. If you're the Leprechauns fan base or the Leprechauns broadcaster, you're going to shout that he was definitely out. 2-2 now the count. By the way, the Mariners have 4 hits on the day. This will be inside. Got away there from Peterson for a little bit, but he'll chase it down to hold the runner at second. The count now is full at 3-2. More Major League scores for you, by the way. In an elimination game, the Florida Gators beat the Texas Longhorns 6-1. Later on today, or actually postponed right now, is Arkansas versus Texas Tech. 3-2 now the count here to the right-handed Riggs. The delivery cut on and missed there. Strike 3 on the swing. 3rd strikeout of the day for Spezia. And there's one away with a runner at second and Ryan Stacy. Jack McCall now, first baseman, 0 for 1 on the day, on a 4-3 assisted ground out. Will be looking to get on base. Left-handed batter is Jack McCall. Spezia will check back to second before he delivers. This will be right down Broadway for strike 1. 0-1 the count. Not even swinging, taking all the way there was McCall. McCall wearing number 50, 154 is his batting average. As here comes the delivery. This one will be hit right. Diving play, not made there by the second baseman. It'll get into center field. And running in and with an RBI single, McCall will get his first base hit. And now it is 4-0. Jake McCall gets an RBI, and he is now 1 for 2 on the day with that single. Diving play there was tried to be made by Toll, the second baseman, but it just got past his glove and into center field. And so that'll be the 4th run charged now here to Spezia, as now Morello, the designated hitter, struck out in his previous at-bat to begin the 2nd inning. This one will be hit well into right center. It will get down for a base hit. Rounding second and heading to third will be Jake McCall. They're going to wave him home. Here he comes. Here comes the throw. The play at the plate, sliding in safely. An RBI double there for Morello, as Jack McCall scores from first base. Morello will get an RBI. That'll be his 3rd for him on the year. And the Mariners have a 5-0 lead. Again, this is exactly what the Mariners wanted to do. Again, enter this game 0 for 4 on the year. They enjoy a 5-0 lead now with rain threatening. Reminder, we only have to get to 5 innings if the Mariners, 5 through 5 innings. This swung on, popped up, and caught there by the second baseman. Jack Coney will go down on the P4. And there are now 2 away with runner on second. We'll go back to Blake Crossing, shortstop, 1 for 2. He had a single to lead off the game in the first, and he'll be looking now try to get a base hit here that could score. Jaron Morello with the 5-0 lead. Reminder, in a game, and for the Great Lakes Summer League, you only have to get through 5 innings. So if it just start to rain, and we got through 5 innings, this one misses outside by Spezia. Ball 1-1-0 now the count. So with a 5-0 lead, the Mariners have a long trip back to Salina tonight, and then we'll be coming back here again tomorrow. It's about a 2.5-hour drive, give or take, depending on what route you take. Spezia will deliver the 1-0. Crossing will cut on that one. He was late. 1-1 now the count. With 2 outs, runner on second. 5 hits for the Mariners. Actually 6 hits for the Mariners. They've scored 5 on those hits. Gather here. Spezia will deliver the 1-1. This one will be popped pretty high right to the third base side. Making the catch is the third baseman, Miller. And that will retire the side. So 2 more runs score here for the Mariners here in the top of the 4th. They enjoy a 5-0 lead. Parsons will come out to defend that lead. We will now head to the bottom of the 4th. Due up for the Leprechauns. It'll be Gunnar Rainey, Max Mahone, and then Joshua Parks. You are listening to Mariners Baseball right here on YouTube. Do not touch that dial. I'll be right back. So it'll be Parsons coming out for his 4th inning of work now here in the bottom of the 4th. Gunnar Rainey, Max Mahone, and Joshua Parks. Slight amount of rain starting to fall now. Only in the 4th inning, though, here the Mariners will want it to hold on. Wait us get through at least 1 more inning, so at least we can say this game was official. And so here comes Gunnar Rainey. 5-0 is your score for the Mariners as Rainey tries to play through the rain. 0 for 1, takes a first down low, ball 1. I'd like to thank you all for listening. I'm Donovan Mann, the voice of the Grand Lake Mariners. As here comes the delivery, this one will catch the inside of the plate right there at the corner. 1-1 the count. For Rainey, he was hitting .500 entering this game. as he pops this one right back to Parsons. Parsons will throw over to first base. McCall will catch, and there's one away on the 1-3 assisted ground out. Again, that defense that bit the Mariners in the behind, and Lima has been very, very solid here today in the early goings of this one as we enter their 4th inning of work. On the season, Parsons has not appeared, so this is his 3 1/3 inning thus far worked. But he's having fun. Here comes the delivery. This will be hit well into left, and it will drop foul. 0-1. By the way, in that previous inning, 2 runs scored on 3 hits. No errors, and the 1 man was left aboard. 0-1 to Parsons here to Mahone. Mahone DHing, sometimes plays first base. Looking at a fastball outside, misses. 1-1 now the count. For Mahone, he has 3 home runs, and 13 RBIs, which lead both categories for the team. As he hits this one, fouled here down the first base line. 1-2 now the count, and Parsons has got him right where he wants him, down in the count. You could say that Mahone, well, he just plays new age baseball, goes for the home run every time. He has a 489 on base percentage with a 389 hitting percentage. Check swing, he holds up, missing inside, 2-2. So he doesn't just play that new age baseball. He takes his walks because, that's what all these kids are trying to do now is learn how to hit the long ball, elevate that fastball, and knock it out of the park. Here comes the 2-2. Swung on, popped high, cuts to first base side. McCall will come over, make the catch. And the catch there. So 2 down now here in the bottom of the 4th. Mariners hold a 5-0 lead. They also have 6 hits to their name, 2 hits to the Leprechauns. Parks is 0 for 1 as he steps in, the right fielder. Flying out to left on the F7 his last time up.
Looks like we have a couple guys getting loose down in the Irish Hills pen.
Some people up and going in the pens here. Spiezer's day might be over as this one's delivered. Hit well into left field, into right field, but Lovely will make the catch there. 1 pitch, swing in there, flying out to right on the F9. For the 3rd time today, the Leprechauns will go out in order on no runs, no hits, no men left on base, and there's no errors. We will head to the top of the 5th here with the Mariners leading 5-0. Due up for the Mariners, it'll be Jaron Lovely, Chris Myers, and Logan Adams. You are listening to Mariners Baseball right here on YouTube. Do not touch that dial. I'll be right back. Hello, welcome back out here to Siena Heights University. The baseball field here is the site for today's matchup between your Grand Lake Mariners and the home team Irish Leprechauns. 5-0 lead for your Mariners. Here they're enjoying their first lead on the road as they now have that 5-0 lead. It'll be Jaron Lovely to lead off the inning. 1 for 2 on the day with a single back in the first. It was part of a back-to-back single to lead off the game. For Lovely entering the day, he was 304 hitting percentage-wise. Here comes the delivery from Spezia, who returns to his 5th inning of work. Popped up out of play, 0-1 now the count. 0-1 now the count here from Spezia to Lovely. This will be cut on and missed here by Lovely. Perhaps he popped it back. It'll be 0-2. Get you some updates from scores around the league in just a second here, as stepping back into the batter's box will be Lovely. Reminder, he's batting left-hander against the right-handed. Here comes the delivery, 0 for 2. This one is hit well into right field, but running in and making the catch will be Parks. There's one away. Here's your updates from around the Great Lakes Summer League. Bottom of the second, Galleon Graders are tied with the Southern Ohio Copperheads in Athens, Ohio, where the Copperheads play 0-0. Bottom of the second, Licking County Settlers have a 1-0 lead on the road against the hometown Xenia Scouts. Cincinnati Seams and Hamilton, Ohio against the Hamilton Joes hold that 2-1 lead in the top of the second. Here comes the delivery. This one is hit, popped high. And that, by the way, the batter was Chris Myers. It'll be caught there by the shortstop. And there are now 2 away. So Logan Adams, 0 for 2 on the day with an RBI back. And the first on a sacrifice fly will step in with 2 away, nobody on. Mariners enjoy that 5-0 lead. And Spezia tried to get his second 1-2-3 inning of work here. The innings he has in the game, his third inning of 1-2-3 work. And the 2 innings he hasn't, the Mariners have scored 3 and then 2 runs. This one will catch the inside of the plate on the low side corner there, 0-1. Spezia will gather the grip, and here comes the 0-1 delivery. This will be hit right to the second baseman, throwing over to first, toll to Furness, 4-3, 1-2-3, go the Mariners. Here in the top of the fifth, we will now head to the bottom of the fifth. And so Michael Parson will return here. Leprechauns are trailing by 5 to your Grand Lake Mariners, enjoying that first road lead of the year. Due up here for the Leprechauns, it will be Pellis, Furness, and Peterson for the Leprechauns. In this inning, by the way, no runs, no hits, no errors, no men left on base. Thank you for listening. I'll be right back here on YouTube. Do not touch that dial. So here comes Parsons. The left-hander is going to get his next inning of work. It'll be his 5th here in his first start and first appearance. Reminder, he just joined the team this weekend. They said, hey, kid, you're going to get the start. He's taking his start, and he's not looking back here. I'm Donovan Mann, your voice of the Mariners here. Stepping in will be Tommy Pellis for the Leprechauns. He is the first baseman, 0 for 1 on the day. By the way, there is somebody warming up in the bullpen. I believe it is number 22, Keith Kutzler, who his numbers are not impressive. We'll talk about him if he comes into the game. But here comes Parsons to deliver the first pitch. It'll miss high, ball 1. Some motion there. He tried to drop it into the zone, but it did not hit. 1-0. Delivered here, popped down the third base line. It'll go foul. 1-1 now the count. 1-1 now the count here to Pellis. Pellis, the shortstop. Again, he popped in, he grounded it right to the third baseman, and then Parsons was covering at first when he got there. And so 1-1. 1-1 now. The count, 5-0 your Mariners lead. Here comes the delivery. This will miss inside, down low, 2-1. Parsons is doing a great job to prove that he should be a starter here for the rest of the season. In this inning, at last, this will be swung on, popped back, and foul, 2-2. Mariners pitching rotation is starting to come into play here. They still, as this one is cut on and missed there, down goes swinging was Tommy Pellis. Adam Furness 0 for 1 on a 4-3 assisted ground out in his last time up. Mariners leading 5-0 here in And boy, has Parsons had a day to remember here. He's had a total of 3 innings here in his 4 innings of work. Well, really 4 1/3. As this one pulling back here is the bunt, which was shown inside 1-0.
College World Series action, as well as Florida beating Texas 6-1. Arkansas and Texas Tech as of
1-0. Now the count here for Adam Furness, who's facing Parsons for the second time. 0-for-1 as he grounded to second his last time out. Here comes the delivery on the 1-0, showing bunt, pulling it back as this one misses outside. 2-0 now the count. So back-to-back pitches here. Furness was showing bunt. With a 2-0 count, he may show it again, or he may swing away. We will see. 2-0 the count. Parsons will gather. Parsons will deliver. This is swung on, tapped over to McCall to the first base, who's going to take it himself on the unassisted ground out. On the U3 there are now 2 away. 2 up, 2 down, and that'll bring up Jackson Peterson, who had a single, the first of 2 base hits for the Leprechauns here today. He led off the 3rd inning with a single, so he's 1-for-1 on the day. But on a 3-6 double play, he was caught at second base. It was a ball tapped by Tommy Toll to McCall. McCall stepped on first base, threw it over to Blake Crossing, who was covering at second. And perhaps Peterson's not happy with the bat he has, so he'll trade it out.
I thought we were going. It's 2 down here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Ellis struck out swinging, and Furness grounded to first base as Parsons stays out there. I'm sorry, I thought we were 5.
Jackson Peterson now in. He'll check his swing, but it'll be called strike on the outside of the zone there. 0-1.
My sincere apologies today.
0-1 the count here. Peterson 1-1.
Here's the 0-1.
Here's the 0-1. Grounded right over to second. Thrown over to McCall, covering at first. And they're on the 4-3. This is to ground out. 1, 2, 3 for the Leprechauns here in the 5th. Nobody on. Left on. No runs, no hits, no errors. We will now head to the top of the 6th. Mariners enjoying that 5-0 lead here on the road. Due up for the Mariners, it'll be Ryan Stacy, Joshua Riggs, and Jake McCall. You're listening to Mariners Baseball right here on YouTube. Do not touch that dial. I'll be right back. So 5-0, your Mariners lead here live from YouTube. Donovan Mann, thank you for listening. Ryan Stacy, Joshua Riggs, and Jake McCall due up for the Mariners here. It'll be Jeremy Spezia returning to the mound for his 6th inning of work. He's had some up, he's had some downs. 5-0 your score, though, as in the 2 innings where the Mariners have not gone 1, 2, 3, they've scored. That was in the 1st inning, they scored 3. And then in the 4th inning, they scored 2. Rudimentary, elementary math right there. Ryan Stacy has an RBI to his name. In the 1st inning, he had a sacrifice fly deep to center. He is 1 for 2 with a single in the 4th. He'll be the first batter up here for the Mariners, the center fielder. Stacy was hitting .296 coming into this day. He attends Texas San Antonio from Sugar Land, Texas. He steps in. He's batting left against the righter, Spezia. Here comes the delivery, Spezia. This is swung on and missed here by Stacy. 0-1 now the count on that strike. Mariners again have struggled on the road, but that looks like it might be changing here in this game as this looks outside here. Ball 1. 1-1 now the count. They're looking to get their first run. And by the way, this game is official. If there were to be a down pull, the umpires could call it. You only had to go 5. Game would be official. This is cut on and miss here on the outside. High heat there. Ryan Stacy will miss. 1-2 now the count. As yesterday, by the way, in this ballpark, the Leprechauns had their game called high heat, not swinging this time, as it missed outside, 2-2. Leprechauns actually had their game only go 5 yesterday, as the rain came out, caused a couple of delays, but then the last one they just said, you know what, make it official, 3-2, Saginaw Sugar Beets will win. Count runs full, 3-2 here to Ryan Stacy. Here comes the delivery to him. Outside, a leadoff walk there on ball 4. Ryan Stacy will get aboard for the second time today. Ryan Stacy again had a stolen base back in the 4th. And the move to the bullpen will be made. We'll step aside and talk about the new pitcher. Just a reminder, the man on first is the responsibility of Spezia. We'll talk about the new pitcher when he comes out. You're listening to Mariners Baseball right here on YouTube. They have that 5-0 lead. Do not touch that exit out of the window. So the new pitcher on the mound, mentioned him in the bullpen, is Keith Kutzler. 0 for 2 on the year from Kenosha, Wisconsin. He attends St. Louis. He's a junior this coming season. 3 appearances for St. Louis. 3 appearances on the season. And let me tell you about his numbers, and I swear it's not a typo. He's went 2 2/3 innings thus far in his 3 appearances with a 33.75 ERA. Which is the worst on the team, by the way. He has 4 strikeouts and 12 walks. He's a righty against St. Louis, where he attends. At St. Louis, he had 19 appearances with a 15 ERA, 10 innings pitched, and 7 punchouts. His high school was Tremper High. He was the 17th ranked player out of Wisconsin by Prep Baseball Report. So he's the second pitcher after Jeremy Spezia could only go 5 innings. He allowed 6 hits, 2 walks, and struck out 3. So he did improve his strikeout to walk ratio. The book is not closed on him because he is responsible for Ryan Stacy sitting on first base with the leadoff walk. Here comes Joshua Riggs. 1 for 2 on the day. Struck out swinging in the 4th and had an RBI single back in the 1st. Low ball 1 missing. 1-0, and just based off the stats, not having any familiarity with his play, you would say Keith Kutzler might struggle with command with those 12 walks and only 4 strikeouts. Here comes the 1-0 delivery. This one will miss low, 2-0. Now the count. By the way, if this score were to hold up, Jeremy Spezia is in line for the loss. Nobody has gotten up at all in the bullpen for the Mariners yet, so you got to assume Michael Parsons will come out for his next inning. Off and going is Stacy. No throw here at all, so another stolen base. The second one of the day will be Ryan Stacy. There was not even a throw by the catcher there, Peterson, because what a jump there by Stacy. By the way, the strike was called the pitch was called a strike. This will be a wild pitch here now. So moving to third on the wild pitch will be Stacy. There will be no stolen base credited there on the wild pitch. He was not off and running. 3-1 now the count, as the one where Stacy stole from first to second was called a strike, and there's been 3 balls thus far. So 3-1 your count here. Nobody out. Runner now on third. And Ryan Stacy. Riggs with a favorable count will look as this one is up near his face. Ball 4, so 4-1 the count. Back-to-back walks here for the Mariners to start the inning, and that'll bring up Jake McCall. Jake McCall, by the way, he is 1 for 2 on the day with an RBI single back in the 4th, and he grounded out in the 1st. McCall with a golden opportunity here to drive in a run from third base, even with a deep fly. This will be way outside and high, ball 1. 1-0 now the count here, and we're starting to see exactly why Kutzler has issued 12 walks on the season, but you got to get the guy a chance. Again, in 3 appearances, 2 2/3 innings pitched. And the Leprechauns have somebody up in the bullpen. Runners on the corner. We'll get a confirmation on who's up in the bullpen. 5-0 your score. Mariners leading. Guys in blue on the road. 1-0 the count here to McCall. Here comes the delivery. This one will catch the outside corner on the high part. 1-1. I think that was maybe somewhat of a sympathy strike, but it was a good pitch nonetheless. Some of those 50-50 balls. Jake McCall runner goes from second, and wow, what a great jump there from Jake McCall to go to second. He was off and running before first movement, and nobody let Kutzler know that he was going, so a stolen base there. There was not even going to be a chance. I mean, 2-1 now as that strike was called a ball. Or that pitch was called a ball. 2-1 now the count. This one will be inside, ball 3. 3-0 now to Jake. 3-1 now to Jake McCall. Kutzler has got to put this one on the plate, or he'll load the bases up with a runner on third. In Ryan Stacy reached there via a wild pitch after stealing second, and then Joshua Riggs, who just stole second. This one is hit well into left field, into right field, back in, not making the catch is the right fielder. This will score 1, and Riggs did not have a good jump because he was getting ready to tag and go, so he'll move to third, and Jake McCall will have an RBI double. Could have been 2 after the left fielder right fielder should have had that ball. They will grant it a hit, the 7th one of the game for the Mariners. It is now 6-0, and by the way, that will now close the book on Spezia, who gave up 6 runs, all of them earned. So 6-0, the Mariners enjoying this lead, as this one is low. Ball 1. 1-0 now the count. As Kutzler has not recorded an out yet. With runner at second, runner at first, again, a runner at third. Riggs could have scored if he had noticed that the ball was dropped by Parks. Inside, 2-0 now the count. There are no outs here on a 2-0 count for Jared Morello. Morello, the designated hitter, 1 for 2, struck out in his first at-bat swinging, then had an RBI double back in the 4th. Here comes the 2-0, delivers high, 3-0 now the count. And Kutzler,
but I don't think you want to walk him loaded either.
Kutzler again showing why he has 13 walks now on the season. He just can't seem to find the command thus far in this one. In the bullpen, by the way, there's number 25, Max Liberato, 1-1 on the season. We'll talk more about him when he comes into the game eventually. Here comes the 3-0 delivery. This one will be low, ball 4, and the bases are loaded.
And we're going to have time called as
And
Hamilton comes out, and we're going to make
here comes the pitching coach, and this will be a move to the bullpen. But as a reminder, responsible for the man on first, second, and third. Mariners hold a 6-0 lead as we say goodbye to Keith Kutzler, who could not record an out in this inning and came on here with nobody out. So 6-0 Mariners lead. I'll be right back here on YouTube. We are back out here at Siena Heights University, the baseball field here. So the third inning, the third pitcher in this inning, there have been no outs recorded yet. Bases are loaded. It'll be Max Labrado, the right-handed pitcher, now to come out. Keith Kutzler gave up a walk when he first came in, gave up a double to Jake McCall with an RBI attached to it, which was charged to Speedia. And then he walked Jared Morello. So nobody out, bases loaded. All the men on the base are certainly on the books for Keith Kutzler, who had no innings. He issued 1 hit, 2 walks, didn't strike anybody out. So this will bring up Jared Morello 0 for 2 on the day. Or correction, this will be Jack Coney 0 for 2. Second baseman. And so let's see if now the luck will change for this righty and Max Labrado. He will deliver. This will be low on the strike zone, 0-1. For Labrado, he stands at 6'4" from Fenton, Michigan. He attends Oakland. He does not have an ERA in 7 innings pitched, 4 appearances on the season thus far. Here comes the 0-1 outside, missing 1-1 now the count. For Oakland, he had 13 appearances with 2 starts, 27 1/3 inning pitched, 1-0 with an 8.56 ERA and 20 punch-outs. The 1-1 count now here to Coney. This will be swung on, fouled, tipped back, 1-2. On this day in history, it is June 19th. General George Washington's troops finally leave Valley Forge after winter training in 1778. As the count now 1-2. Here comes the delivery. This will be inside and make the count evened up at 2-2.
The broadcaster for the Mariners just did it this day in history. It seems out of nowhere.
Also on this day in history, the Ottomans defeat the Greeks at the Battle of, I cannot read that. Girsani. This will be swung on, hit to the third baseman. They'll go home to get the force out. Now throwing down the first throw, not in time. So they do get their first out on the fielder's choice.
5-2-2. And a fielder's choice
On the 5-2. So there is nobody scored on that as a count, as it is now 6-0, 1 out. Coney reached first base safely. So at least one man on the books
Take us back to the
is
top of the
eliminated
order, crossing.
from.
And I'm sorry, Donovan, you forgot the most important this bit in history. On this day in history, the Cleveland Cavaliers will win the NBA title in 2016.
That is correct. To the guy yelling across me in the press box. On this day in history, Cleveland Cavaliers won their first NBA championship back in 2016. 1-0 as Crossing now in the bat. He's batting left now against a right-handed batter. 1-0. Lobato will deliver. This will be hit well. It'll get into the gap off the glove there of the second baseman Toole. So it'll score at least one rounding second as the second run scores, and they'll hold the third run. So that'll be 2 runs charged now to Kutzler. Not improving his ERA at all. As a single with 2 RBIs attached will be granted to Blake Crossing.
E4.
Actually, they'll rule an E4. So neither of those runs would be earned.
And we have a pinch hitter here.
And this will bring in now R.J. Williams, who just joined the team today. He will be pinch hitting here for Jaron Lovely. I assume he would go out into right field.
R.J. Williams this past season played at Bowling Green State University. Throw over to first, back with a dive. Is Crossing.
1-0. R.J. Williams just joined the team. He was on the roster to begin the season, but he was dealing with a shoulder thing. Said he had some shoulder soreness, didn't want to stress it. They cleared him to play as he cuts on and misses 1-1. Here's some people born today on June 19th. James I, King of England from 1603 to 1625, was born this day. As 1-1 is now the count here from Max Liberato. Here comes the delivery. This one will be high outside. 2-0. 2-0 now the count. 2-1 actually. It'd actually be 1-1. I guess I missed. Thought I invented a pitch. So it's only 1-1. 8-0 your score now here, as the Mariners enjoy a nice lead. Here comes the delivery. This one will be foul, tipped back. 1-2 now the count. Tobias Wolff, an American writer, was born in 1945 on this day. He wrote The Boy's Life, a memoir, and The Night in Question.
As Williams awaits the 1-2 pitch from Liberato. Checks first.
As 1-2 now the count to R.J. Williams from Liberato. Looks back at first. Here comes the delivery. This will be cut on, fouled off.
Looks like I might have hit Williams in the thigh. So he'll take a step out, readjust his gloves, and climb back in.
So, climbing back in now after he fixes his gloves, the count remains at 1-2. One and two now the count.
Here's the 1-2.
Swung on, fouled into the protective netting that I think the Lord is there. Otherwise, that one could head to the press box. I mean, I'm glad this protective netting's here. I have an open window. If it wasn't there, foul straight back would hit me right in the face. I'd have our medical staff check my broken nose, and I'd jump right back in here. 1-2 now the count. Oh, here's a good one. On this day, Henry Lou Gehrig was born back in 1903. Here comes the 1-2, missing low. 2-2 now the count. Great job there blocking was Peterson. That is all I'll do for today in history. So the count 2-2 here to R.J. Williams getting his first action of the year. Here, I'd like to thank you all for hanging in there with me. By the way, R.J. Williams from Pickerington, Ohio, attends Bowling Green State University. He'll be entering his final season there. 39 games for BG this past year with 22 starts, hitting .288 with 3 RBIs. Here comes the 2-2, missing inside. Count is full. Runners at the corner. By the way, runners at the corner are Jack Coney, who grounded into a fielder's choice, and Blake Crossing, who reached on an error that's also scored 2 runs. It was an error on the second baseman. R.J. Williams also had 3 RBIs for BG this past year with a .391 on-base percentage and hit a couple of doubles. Labrada will check back to first. Here comes the delivery on the 3-2. This will be swung on, chopped right to the first baseman who fumbles it, and R.J. Williams will beat it out. There's a throwing error here on the first baseman. This will allow 1 run to score. R.J. will head into second. He will be in safely. So, 9-0, the Mariners now lead. So, I believe there'll be a couple of errors on this one. Actually, there might be 2 errors in this one. Both on the first baseman, 1 on the fielding error, and then 1 on the throwing error. So, I believe we'll wait for the official scoring here. We'll get the confirmation on that, but I do believe that will be 2 errors on Furnace.
Williams safe on the throwing error, or the fielding error. Morello scores on the fielding error. Williams is second.
As we have the delivery here to now stepping into the boxes, Chris Myers.
That also moves Crossing to third.
Crossing is, by the way, now on third, and RJ is at second, who reached there on the throwing error. Strike 1 catches the outside, 1-1, now the count. So 2 errors on that play. 1 was a field error, 1 was a throwing error. That is how Crossing reached, and then Crossing got to second on the throwing error. 1-1 delivery. This will catch the inside of the plate here. And by the way, we are still in the top of the 6th with 4 runs scored. None of them have been earned. Here comes the delivery. This will be hit high into center field, but it'll be an easy routine play there made by Pilot. Crossing will come in and score on that play. So there's your first official RBI. Or correction, that's the second RBI of this inning on the sack there. Because the first RBI came via Jake McCaw's back on a double. Any run that was accounted to, any run that would be accounted to Kutzler would be unearned due to some errors. Also, 2 of the runs accounted here to Labrada will be errors, but that one will go against his record. Here comes the delivery here to Logan Adams, the catcher. Inside, ball 1. 1-0 the count now here. 5 runs have scored in this inning for the Mariners. They now enjoy a 10-0 lead here in the top of the 6th with only 2 away. R.J. Williams on second. This one right down Broadway. 1-1 now the count.
Looks like 3 runs were scored, and 2 of them are going to be called earned.
Check back here to R.J. before the delivery. This will be inside. Whoa, that one looked a little inside to me, but 1-2 now the count.
2 outs in the inning.
2 outs. R.J. Williams on second. Labrada would want to get out of this inning. His defense has not picked him up. There has been 3 errors in this inning. Here comes the 1-2 missing outside, 2-2 the count. All the errors, by the way, have allowed runs to score. Here comes the 2-2 delivery. Check swing, but called strike on the outside there. Logan Adams will go down looking, and that will end the side, but not before every Mariners pitcher had a plate appearance in this inning. So we will now head to the bottom of the 6th, and the Leprechauns will have to find their bats as some of them fell asleep in that dugout. Actually, the Mariners will have to find their gloves as some of them fell asleep. R.J. Williams will now head out to right field defensively. And I believe Parsons will come out to the mound. You're listening to Mariners Baseball as they enjoy 10-0 lead. Due up here for the Leprechauns, it will be Toll, Miller, and Pilot. Thank you for listening. I'll be right back. So as Parsons comes out for his 6th inning of work, there was only 1 hit in that inning, but 3 errors did the Mariners a lot of help. 10-0 they lead here, with the book closed here on Kutzler, by the way. He has he did not allow any runs that were earned. There were 2 runs against him, though. So stepping in now will be Tommy Toll, wearing number 16, as Parson will step back out for his 6th inning of work. With that 10-0 lead, he will deliver. This will catch the outside of the plate. Strike 1 called. 0-1. For Toll, he is 0 for 1 on the day. He grounded into a double play back in the inning. As this pitch misses, 1-1. Here comes the 3rd pitch of the at-bat. Hit right over to Crossing. The shortstop will pick it up, throw it over to first, but just in time. Boy, I thought that perhaps Toll might have beat that one out, but 6-3 after a good throw there, right on target to McCall from Crossing. And there is one away. This will bring up Thomas Miller, 3rd baseman, 1 for 1 on the day with a single.
1 for 1 today and a single. The 2nd hit of the ball game.
That was the 2nd and last hit so far in this game for the Leprechauns. 7 hits for the Mariners today as well. Here comes the delivery. This will be just a bit high and outside. Ball 1, 1-0 the count. For the Bowling Green man, a correction, for Thomas, who's not from Bowling Green, as this one is delivered outside corner there, 1-1. Thomas Miller hitting .240 coming into the day. His average has improved from against Oakland, where 34 appearances and 27 starts. Check swing, and they'll say he went around. 1-2 now the count. 1-2 the count. Here comes the delivery. This will be low into the turf, but great block there by Adams. Not that there's anybody on base, but that'll even up the count at 2-2. It's been a while since the Mariners have had anybody on base or had any defensive play. Again, that was a long inning. Don't know the exact time, but that was a very long inning in which a lot of errors is cut on and missed. Down goes swinging is Thomas Miller. That'll be the 3rd strikeout of the day here for Parsons, the starting pitcher. It's roughly around a 15-minute inning there, which the Mariners scored 5, including on some errors. So 0 for 2 on the day is Preston Pilot, who steps back in at the top of the order. And Parsons didn't like the ball he just received, so he'll throw it back to Logan Adams, say, hey, switch this one out. Adams did. Here comes the lefty-righty matchup. This is actually a lefty-lefty matchup. Swung on, popped back and out of play, 0-1. For Pilot. Left-handed batter standing at 6'4" from Rochester Hills. Here comes the 0-1 delivered, chopped right over to the first baseman, and covering is Parsons. Call will throw it over in time. 1-2-3 go the Leprechauns on the 3-1 assisted ground out. 10-0 the Mariners lead here from Siena Heights, and this will now bring out Ryan Stacy, who led off with a walk in the 6th inning. He'll lead off here in the 7th as well. Then Joshua Riggs and Jake McCall. You're listening to Mariners Baseball right here on YouTube. Do not touch that dial. I'll be right back. So it'll be Max Liberato, the right-hander, returning now here to the mound for the Leprechauns. He got the 3 outs after Spezia left, and then Kutzler also came in. So warming out in the bullpen, by the way, for the Mariners is Jonah Jenkins. We'll see if he comes in. But right now for the Leprechauns, it is Liberato as they trail 10-0. The Mariners having a good day thus far. First real good game on the road. Looks like they might walk away here as we are in the top of the 7th, the last third of baseball, the last 3 innings. Here comes Ryan Stacy, who led off the 6th inning with a walk. He is 1 for 2 on the day officially, with a single back in the 4th and an RBI sacrifice fly in the 1st. He also stole a base back in the 6th inning as well, and also in the 4th. So he has 2 stolen bases to his name already as Stacy steps in, batting left. Wearing number 36.
As Stacy will climb in.
From Sugar Land, Texas, hitting .296. His batting average could improve as well as his on-base percentage, as he is 1 for 2 on the day. Here comes the delivery. This will be hit well into center field, but running in and making the catch will be center fielder Pilot. So 1 pitch, 1 down on the F8 there. That'll take us to Joshua Riggs, who also walked and had a stolen base back in the 6th. And that was when he faced Kutzler. Riggs was forced out at the plate, though, so he did not run across. He also had an RBI single back in the 1st. He is officially 1 for 2 with a strikeout in the 4th. Riggs 1 for 2, batting right against the right-hander. This will be hit deep into right, going into foul territory, and it will go foul just barely. So 0-1 now the count. And Riggs thought he might have had himself some extra bases there, but instead he'll have to return, grab his stick, which, by the way, was thrown to the side there by the catcher Peterson. A little bit unsportsmanlike there by him to just kind of throw that aside. Or actually, correction, the bat did break, so my apologies to Peterson and any supporters of him. I did not realize that his bat had broke a little. So it is 0-1. And so that'll bring up now, Ryan Stacy.
Just kidding, Donovan. You know you're the best.
So 0-1 now the count here to Riggs, who we can expect to see on the mound very soon.
Double barrel action going down in the left field pen for the.
By the way, I would like to thank, by the way, our scoring master at Montgomery Field and our social media director. It is actually Jaron Lovely's birthday today. I'd like to send a happy birthday wish out to Jaron Lovely, our starting right fielder, who has been replaced by R.J. Williams, as the 1-1 is cut on here, 1-2. Thank you, Ren, for catching that for me. So happy birthday, Jaron Lovely. And now the count is 1-2. Joshua Riggs, 1 for 2 on the day. His team enjoys a 10-0 lead here over the hometown Leprechauns. It is very cloudy, but it looks like for the moment we might not have to worry about any more threats of rain. Again, if it were to end, it would be an official game. Well, 1-2, here comes the delivery. This will be hit right to the line, and the shortstop will make the catch, and Pellis will put the second man down. Wow, Pellis with the athletic jump there to catch Joshua Riggs' line drive. That would have gotten down for a base hit, but he was robbed. He'll fall to 1-3. That'll bring up Jake McCall. 2 for 3. It's a couple of RBIs to his name, a single and a double. And here comes the delivery to him. This will be high. Ball 1, 1-0 the count. 1-0 count now here to McCall. Here comes the delivery. 1-0, missing high. Ball 2. Third pitcher for the Leprechauns here today, Max Liberato, trying to get through his 2nd inning of work. He came on with a bases loaded situation and allowed 5 runs. Only 3 went to him, though. This one will be high, pop, fly, making a run, and this will get out of play. 2-1 now the count. 2-1 now the count 2 out, nobody on. 10-0, Mariners lead. Liberato will gather. He will set and deliver. 2-1. Popped back and out of play by McCall. 2-2 now the count here to McCall. Trying to get his third, trying to reach base for the third straight time, possibly even get his third straight hit. And but 2 for 3 on the day. He grounded out in the first to end the first inning. But he's got 2 RBIs to his name here as well. Liberato will gather. Step. Here comes the 2-2-2 McCall. Popped back, out of play. McCall staying alive here with 2-2.
We'll do it again at 2-2.
Here we go again. Fixing his hat. Wiping some sweat on his forehead before he looks in for his sign, does Liberato. He'll re-step here into the clay. And now he'll gather. It's about a letter high. He will deliver. Here comes the 2-2. Check swing, holds up low and in the turf. 3-2. Now the count is full. As McCall will try to be a 2-out base runner here for the Mariners. 10-0 your score. Get you some updates from some scores around the league here in a second. As the payoff pitch is gathered in the glove, the grip is set. And here comes the delivery. This will be inside, ball 4. So Jacob McCall will reach base for the third straight time, this time a walk. Jared Morello now comes up 1 for 2 on the day with an RBI double back in the 4th and walked in the 6th. That was the walk, by the way, that chased out Keith Kutzler with the bases loaded. This is actually a new batter. Number 11, Stephen Fitzsimmons, will take over in the DH spot.
Looks like we have a pinch hitter, Stephen Fitzsimmons. He does not have an average today or this season.
Fitzsimmons has yet to record a hit in the year, but he is .364 on base percentage. He walked in an RBI as this one misses 1-0. Tense Valparaiso. He's from Golden Valley, Minnesota. Business management major at Valparaiso. Here comes the 1-0 delivery. Cut on and miss there by Fitzsimmons. For Valparaiso, he had 16 appearances with 3 starts, hitting .174, 1 RBI, and a .345 on base percentage. 1-1 now the count here to Fitzsimmons. This is what Stephen Fitzsimmons usually does as DH, so no surprise here. He'll come on and face Liberato, the lefty does. Here's your updates from scores around the league. The Lima Locos and Lake Erie Monarchs had their game postponed. Here come, this one is hit into right field, going deep and getting down. This will score. This will throw in here now to second as Riggs, as McCall will move over to third, and then Fitzsimmons will go into second. So it's a double for Fitzsimmons. His first hit of the year. This will bring up Jack. Nope, this will be Van Aker, number 7, pinch hitting for Jack Coney. I assume he'll come in defensively for him as well. Van Aker, the second baseman, or the infielder, will come in for the second baseman, Jack Coney. For Van Aker, it is Van Aker hitting .267 from Alma College. Eaton Rapids, Michigan is where he's from. Here comes the delivery to him, high and inside, ball 1, 1-0. Van Aker from Alma College had 42 appearances, hitting .284 with a .370 on base percentage, 6 stolen bases, and 12 doubles. Before that, he attended Eaton Rapids High. Here comes the 1-0 count, runner on first, second, and third. This will be cut right to the third baseman, and it'll be thrown over to first to end the inning on the 5-3 ground out, and that will end the inning. In this inning, there were no runs scored on the 1 hit, no errors, and 2 men left on base. This will now head to the bottom of the second inning, and we will have a new pitcher on the mound. We'll talk about him when we come back. You're listening to Mariners Baseball right here on YouTube. Now touch that dial. I'll be right back. So it'll be Jonah Jenkins coming out. He is 1 for 0. His first appearance was actually against the Green Giants, where he went 2 2/3 inning. He was credited for the win, didn't allow a run, and struck out 1 without walking anyone. He's from Dartmouth College. He did not appear for Dartmouth this past season. In his first season in college, he took a red shirt. He attended high school at Chaparral High. So Van Aker will come in out into second base for Jack Coney as a defensive change. Be Gunnar Rainey. He's going to lead off here as he steps in. Here comes the delivery. This will be, catches the high part of the zone. 0-1 the count. Rainey wearing number 2. 0 for 2 on the day. This one a low. Misses, ball 1. 1-1 now the count here to Gunnar Rainey. Gunnar Rainey, of course, trying to get his first get his first appearance on the bags here today. It's now 2-1 as this one misses from Jenkins. Jenkins in his second appearance already. Here comes the gather and deliver on the 2-1. This will be hit right to the third baseman, gathering it, and Chris Myers will throw over to first, and McCall will get him out. So that'll be a 5-3 assisted ground out. Great throw there from Myers to get out Rainey on the other side of the infield. And that will bring, of course, up Max Mahone. 0 for 2, but he does have the danger with the bat. He's a power hitter. Here comes the delivery. This will miss high. Ball 1. 1-0 now the count with 1 out, nobody on. Max with 2 X's, Mahone, the designated hitter, struck out in his first swinging and then popped out to first in foul territory. Missing low, 2-0 now the count to Jenkins, the right-hander. Dartmouth College, of course. Same place as Blake Crossing. And another pitcher we're expecting as this one hits now, 2-1 now the count. Here is the final day for Parsons, who is in line for the win as this one misses high, 3-1 now the count. For Parsons, he went 6 innings, not allowing a run. As the 3-1 is set, gathered, and delivered. This one will be low and in the turf. So a 1-out walk as Max Mahone gets on base for the first time today to bring up Josh Parks. Also only 2 hits for Jenkins, or for Parsons, as he struck out a total of 3 batters. Here comes the delivery. Strike 1 called on Broadway, 0-1. And not a walk issued by the starting pitcher in Parsons as his day is closed. Good debut for him for the Mariners. 0-1 count now here. Jenkins hit to the first baseman, gets past McCall, and so that'll be down the line. Going to third will be Mahone. Doesn't have a lot of speed, and so it'll be a double here for Parks with 1 out. And now 2 runners in scoring position. 10-0 is your score, so Jenkins has a lot of leeway to work with here. But not a lot of speed on the bases there was Max Mahone. He was power hitter, as I said, so you're not going to see him steal anytime soon. But now he's on third, so that situation's kind of over. Jenkins will now deliver here, and this will be low inside to Tommy Pellis, who now steps in. 0 for 2 on the day as well. By the way, Joshua Parks with the 2-double, with a 1-out double there. His first hit of the game as well. 1-0, swung on, drops into right field, and this looks like it'll be an RBI single. They're waving home third, and Parks will come in, so it'll be a 2 RBI. 2 RBI single there by Tommy Pellis. So now it is 10-2. The Leprechauns trying to mount a comeback here in the bottom of the 7th. That'll bring up Adam Furness, the first baseman, 0 for 2 as well. But Jenkins so far has given up his first 2 runs of the year in his second appearance. Here comes the delivery. This will be low in the zone. Strike 1. 0-1 now the count. 1 out. Runner on first is Tommy Pellis, who got that 2 RBI single with 1 out. Jenkins will look in for his sign. He will gather on the red clay mound. He will set, nod, and deliver. This will be just a bit outside, maybe a little bit low. Ball 1. 1-1 now the count. Jenkins looks in for his sign. He will gather and deliver on the 1-1. Down low in the turf. 2-1. Blocked there by Adams to hold up the runner at first. And Pellis, so 2-1 now the count here. The gather here by Jenkins. He'll deliver the 2-1. This will be inside, almost hitting the batter in Furness. Count now 3-1, and Jenkins is going to have to throw a strike here. And it looks like we will have someone up and throwing in the bullpen for the Mariners. We'll get confirmation on who that is in here in a second. But Jenkins will gather the 3-1, deliver. This will be just low, ball 4. So now 1 out, runner on first and runner on second after the 1-out walk for Jackson Peterson. 1 for 2 on the day. And it'll be Andrew Loudermilk up in the bullpen, number 14. Andrew Loudermilk from Pearland, Texas. We may see him here soon as Jenkins has struggled to find the command. Here comes the delivery. Down in the turf and gathered up there nicely will be Adams. This one misses inside also. Ball 1, 1-0. He tends Texas Permian Bassin does Loudermilk, but we'll talk more about him. The 1-0 now. Check back to second. Jenkins will deliver. Catches the below part of the zone there. 1-1 now the count. 10-2 the score here. 2 runs scored here already in the bottom of the 7th. As Jenkins will check back to second and deliver the 1-1. This is chopped back to foul. 1-2, and for the first time here in this inning, Jenkins will have a favorable count to try to work here on Jackson Peterson, the catcher, again 1 for 2 on the day with a single. Thank you all for listening from wherever you may be listening. I'm Donovan Mann, the voice of the Mariners for the summer of 2018. Check back here to second. Jenkins will deliver. This is cut back and fouled back and out of play. 1-2. Jackson Peterson entered the day hitting 188. He'll improve that percentage at the moment. But of course, his game is not over. Check back to second here by Jenkins. Here comes the delivery on the 1-2. This is outside. Ball 2, 2-2. Peterson attends the University of Pennsylvania, or just Penn to most people, Libertyville, Illinois. Where he attended Libertyville High School. Here comes the 2-2 delivery. Cut on and missed. And Jackson Peterson will go down strikes. There are now 2 away. That'll bring up Tommy Toll, 0 for 2 on the day with a ground out. And his last time up, grounded to the shortstop. And then he also grounded into a double play back in the 3rd. He'll be batting left. Here comes the delivery. This will be strike 1 called. Catches the outside low corner there. 0-1 now the count here, and Jenkins is trying to get himself out of the inning. Loudermilk's still up and warming up in the bullpen, though, because you don't know if he'll be needed, as Jenkins will gather. It's a face gather, by the way, level. 0-1, swung on, fouled back and out of play towards the third base side, and now the count is 0-2. Down in the hole is Toll, and Jenkins trying to get his second strikeout of the inning, of the game, and his 3rd of the year. Check back to second. Here comes the delivery. Cut on and miss, but it'll get away here from Adams and heading to first. And no throw will be needed, so they cannot complete the strikeout. And so, base is now loaded as the ball got away. So, only 2 outs. There on the wild pitch strikeout. So the Mariners will have to try
As Jenkins will
and
be
get
credited for the strikeout.
Thomas Miller. The strikeout will be credited, but he will have to get the 4th inning, as this one's called a strike outside corner there. 0-1 now the count here to Thomas Miller. 1 for 2 with a strikeout back in the 6th. Miller playing third base today, had a single back in the 3rd. 0-1 the count. Here comes the delivery on the 0-1. This is inside, ball 1. 1-1 now the count.
Last time up is the 8th man to bat in the inning.
Miller trying to capitalize on a bases loaded situation with 2 outs. Here comes the delivery. This is inside, ball 3. Ball 2. 2-1 now the count. Jenkins to Miller. We are past 2 hours now in this game here in the 7th inning, bottom of the 7th inning. I'd like to thank you all for tuning in. Cloudy day here in the Irish Hills of Michigan. This is high and inside, ball 3. And Jenkins now can't find that command he had for the previous 2 batters. It is now 3-1 the count. Thomas Miller, 240 entering this game with a 296 on-base percentage from Oakland is the college he attends. He's from Saline, Michigan on the 3-1, and that'll be a walked-in RBI. So walked-in run there, and now we're going to have a meeting on the mound between Logan Adams and Jeremy Jenkins. That extra out that the Leprechauns were granted, as now a walked-in run will take us back to the top of the order in Preston Pilot. 0 for 3 on the day. 10-3 is the score. This one's cut on into left field, but actually it'll be caught there by Chris Myers, the third baseman, and that will end the inning. On the line out to the third baseman. So in this inning, there were 3 runs scored on the 2 hits, no errors, 3 left on base. We will now head to the top of the 8th. You are listening to Mariners baseball as they still lead 10-3 after giving up 3 runs in that inning. Thank you for listening. I'll be right back. New pitcher on the mound for the Leprechauns to face the top of the order in Blake Crossing, R.J. Williams, and Chris Myers. It is a position player, Christian Faust. He's normally an infielder from Bloomfield Hills, Michigan. Grand Valley State is where he attends college, as he takes his position now on the mound to face the 1-2-3 hitters for the Mariners. The 4th pitcher of the day. Book is closed on Liberto. Liberato had 2 innings pitched. 2 innings pitched. He gave up a total of gave up 3 runs, but I believe only one of them would be earned.
Liberato gave up 1 run, no earned.
Correction, Liberado only gave up 1 earned. It was during that 6th inning where there were so many errors going on, it was earned. Here comes the delivery. This will be outside here by Faust to Crossing. 1-0 the count. Missing outside. 10-3 your score for the Mariners leading here. High missing 2-0 now the count. Tell you what, you don't want to regret stepping on the mound and having your coach regret pitching you as the 2-0 is delivered. Struck here by Crossing to the shortstop, throwing over to first, but Crossing will beat it out. It'll be an infield single there for Crossing. This will bring up R.J. Williams. Reached on an error by the first baseman. It was a fielding error by the baseman, then he got to second on a throwing error by that very same first baseman named Furness. R.J. Williams, so 0 for 0. He reached first because Furness couldn't field the ball correctly, and then a throw from Furness to the pitcher at the time, Liberado could not get it as this one is low in the dirt, but Crossing will head back for ball 1. This one was low in the turf, but gathered up there nicely by Peterson, and so 1-0 the count. As R.J. Williams trying to get his first hit of the season. This is his second plate appearance. He's officially 0 for 0 though. This is a high fastball missing. 2-0 now the count. 10-3 the score. Mariners have 8 hits to just 4 from their opponents. Here comes the 2-0 delivery. This will be high, missing, ball 3. 3-0 now the count quickly here, and R.J. Williams will be looking to draw a walk or get something he can swing at favorably.
So 3-0 to Williams with nobody down, a runner on first, a 10-3 lead for the Mariners.
R.J. Williams will gather. He's a left-handed batter. 3-0. Here comes the delivery to him. This will be high, but it'll be called strike. Again, on a 3-0 count, sometimes umpires, unless it's a blatant ball, will give favorable counts to the pitcher, and this time they did. So it'll be 3-1 the count now. Here comes the 3-1 delivery. This will be outside. That is definitely a ball. Ball 4, and so Faust will walk R.J. Williams. Nobody out. Runner on first and second. Runner on second is Blake Crossing. Jake Williams on first. And by the way, both of these guys have speed, so a double steal would be favorable if they can pull it off. Chris Myers now steps in. He's 0 for 3 on the day with a sacrifice RBI back in the 6th. Then he walked back in the 1st. Here comes the first pitch to him. Holds up his swing there. High missing outside. Ball 1. 1-0 now the count. Faust has very, very hard time throwing strikes, but misses. He just cannot find the strike zone. You want to save your bullpen, though, because this is a long season. This will be another high one, missing. 2-0 now the count. Updates from scores from around the league, but while we wait for my browser to update those scores, I'd like to remind you we will be back here from the Irish Hills of Michigan once again. 7:05 start. We'll be right here on YouTube, unless, of course, the start gets moved up like it was today. This will be catches the outside, but well framed there by the catcher Peterson. 2-1 now the count. Cincinnati Steam and Hamilton Joes are at a 6-2 count in Hamilton, Ohio. Steam lead there. Galleon Graders have a 2-1 lead on the road against the Southern Ohio Copperheads. 2-1. High missing. 3-1 now the count. The Xenia Scouts have taken an 11-6 lead over the Licking County Settlers at home. And the Lima Locos and Lake Erie Monarchs game in Lima has been canceled. 3-1 here now to Myers. As Myers steps back into the bat again. 0 for 3 with a sacrifice RBI. Here comes the delivery. This will be called strike 2. The count is full. Catches the inside of the plate there. 3-2 now. 10-3. Mariners lead. Runner on second. Runner on third. Runner on second is R.J. Williams, who walked. Blake Crossing. R.J. Williams also just stole the base, by the way.
Here's the payoff.
Payoff pitch. Swung on, popped high. Going into the third base side. touch, just in play, gets out of play. So actually, Blake Crossing on second. R.J. Williams is on first. So the count remains at 3-2. Fouling off the play there is Chris Myers. Ten to 3 your score. Mariners leading by 7. Comfortably, but no lead is ever safe here in the top of the 8th. Check in. Faust says, okay, I'll get that sign. I will deliver. Here comes the payoff pitch. Strike 3, 3 called. Just a little bit inside, but Chris Myers will go down looking for the first out of the inning. Runners to remain on first and second. Logan Adams 0 for 3 on the day with a sacrifice RBI back in the first. That sacrifice fly scored the first run of the game. Missing inside, ball 1, 1-0. Want to know the count? Here, 1 out. Here comes the delivery. Struck right back to the pitcher. Thrown over to second for 1. And there is no throw. So R.J. Williams will go down on the fielder's choice by Logan Adams. Runners at the corners now.
Williams will go down on the 1 to 3 put out, or 1 to 6 put out rather.
1 to 6. And that'll bring now Ryan Stacy up with runners at the corners. Blake Crossing at third. And Logan Adams at first. Stacy, 1 for 2, scored a run back, or scored an RBI back in the first. Had a single back in the fourth. He'll hit this one into the gap in the right field. This will score Crossing. And Adams will advance to second. So another RBI here on the day for Stacy. This is second of the day. This one on a single. Adams advances to second there on that play, and now it is 11 to 3, Mariners leading.
So now,
here in the top of the 8th, that'll ring up Joshua Riggs.
1 for 3 today.
1 for 3 on the day with an RBI single back in the first. He walked in the 6th and then stole a base.
There might be more action heading down to the Leprechaun.
Here comes the delivery from Faust. This will curve in there first. First strike, catching the inside corner there, 0-1. Faust takes the first sign away. He'll gather here for the 0-1. He will deliver. This will catch Broadway there, right down the middle of the plate. 0-2 now. Riggs is down in the hole. Riggs, the pitcher, batting. Faust, a position player, pitching. So, a little bit of a change up in roles here between these two. Faust will check back to second and deliver. Hit well there by Riggs, gets past the shortstop, and this looks like it might score Adams as he rounds second. Heading into third, this one will get away here, and so, but covered there nicely by the pitcher, so it'll be an RBI. Be the RBI single there by double there by Riggs. And advancing to third on the play was Ryan Stacy. So now the score is 12 to 3, and the Mariners are responding to take a 9 lead here as they respond to the 3 spot put by the bottom of the 7th. This will now bring in Jake McCall. 2 for 3 on the day with 2 RBIs, a double in the 6th, a single in the 4th, and then walked in the 7th. Here comes the delivery. This will just drop in on the outside of the plate there for strike 1. 0-1. Looked a little bit outside, but it looped in there. 0-1, 2 down, runner on second and third. Here comes the delivery. This one will miss low, ball 1. Runner on third is Logan Adams. Runner on second is Joshua Riggs, who just had the RBI double just a moment ago. 1-1 the count. 2 outs, 12 to 3 the score. Gather here by Faust. He will set at the letters and the 1-1 delivered. cut on and miss there by McCaw. McCaw trying to get his third hit of the game.
In the top of the 8th inning.
1-2 now the count here, top of the 8th. Thank you all for listening. I'm Donovan Mann, the voice of the Mariners. Here, bringing you all the action for the entire 42-game plus postseason. Here comes the 1-2 swung, tapped out of play there by McCaw. The count remains at 1-2. It is now 8:52 local time. The sun, which we haven't seen all day really here in the Irish Hills, must be setting soon. This one will be popped up third base side, running and making chases, the catcher and the pitcher and the third baseman, but it'll get out of play. 1-2 the count remains. Get you an update on the weather here in Adrian, Michigan. As soon as it loads up. 70 degrees right now. Rain chance at about 60%, but looks cloudy, but no rain. Faust will step back on here on the 1-2. He'll gather, set, and deliver here to McCaw. Swung on, tapped over to the shortstop, making the play, throwing over to first, beating out the throw. Actually, it'll be a throwing error as it gets past the first baseman. This will allow Riggs to score after Stacy scores. So an E5 will be granted there. E6 actually on the shortstop. And we'll see how they score it, but if it were me, I would score 1 RBI and the second run scoring on the error, because it looked like McCall was going to beat that out, so he advances to second, but we'll see how they score that here in a little bit. So that will bring up Steven Fitzsimmons, who cracks this one into center field, and now reaching third, runners at the corners with still 2 outs. The ball was thrown home. They were thinking that perhaps McCall would head home, so this allows Fitzsimmons to have a double.
Go to get a single, go to second on the throw. Still 2 down.
14-3 now the score. Mariners leading here with their 11th hit of the game. We are still here in the top of the 8th with 2 outs. Runner at first, at second, and third. Here comes the delivery. Strike there as it catches the low part of the plate. 0-1 here to Acker. Well, by the way, he's 0 for 1 of the day, grounded out in the 7th. Here comes the delivery. He'll swing at this one right back to the pitcher. The second baseman comes in, makes the throw to first, and they'll throw it. Acker, no run scores on the 4-3 there, assisted ground out. Every batter in the lineup for the Mariners hit in this inning, as 3 runs scored on just, looks like 4 hits and 1 error. 2 men left on base. We will now head to the bottom of the 8th. It looks like Loudermilk will now step on the mound. We'll talk more about him when we come back. You're listening to Mariners Baseball right here on YouTube. So it is Andrew Loudermilk now on the mound for the Mariners here today. He is now making his third appearance of the year. 3 innings pitched so far with a 3 ERA. 4 strikeouts to 1 walk. He's from Pearland, Texas, attends Texas Permian Basin. Attend Dawson High. Before that, he will be going up against the Leprechauns' number 2 hitter, Gunnar Rainey. As it is a strike called there. 0-1 now, the count to him quickly. Then after, by the way, Rainey, it'll be Max Mahannon, as this one misses inside ball 1. And then Joshua Parks. So Rainey, Mahone, and Parks do up. 1-1 delivers, struck right over to Crossing, the shortstop, who can't handle it, and then throws over to first, and they will still get him out. Crossing there, it bobbled it a little bit, but he still managed to find it and throw out Rainey on the 6-3 assisted ground out. That'll bring up Max Mahon. Power hitter here. Walked back, though, in the 7th. 0 for 2 on the day officially for Mahone. As he steps in. Here comes the delivery from Loudermilk. Swung on and missed there. 0-1 now the count. 14-3 your score. Mariners enjoying a nice, comfortable lead on the road by 11. This will be struck right over to the second baseman, Van Acker. They're now 2 away on the line out there. And that'll bring up Joshua Parks. 1 for 3 on the day with a double in the 7th.
Final line on Jenkins, he went 1 inning, gave up 3 runs, all were earned, 2 hits, 2 strikeouts, 3 walks, and a wild pitch.
Jenkins, by the way, went only the 1 inning, 3 earned runs against him. Here comes the 0-1. There, as he delivers a nice strike on the corner. Loudermilk sets and delivers the 0-1. This will be low and in the turf. Ball 1, 1-1 now the count. 2 strikeouts, except 1 did not get an out on the wild pitch, but 2 strikeouts credited to his record. Issued 3 walks. As this one is popped over to Van Acker. Sets, gathers, throws over to McCall. And that will retire the side in order on the 4-3 assisted ground out. So the Leprechauns go down in order for the 6th time today. We now head to the top of the 9th inning, 14-3. The Mariners enjoying a nice lead here in their last chance at an at-bat, provided there's no 11-run comeback in the bottom of the 9th. We have a new pitcher on the mound. We'll talk more about him when we come back. You're listening to Mariners Baseball right here on YouTube. Do not touch that dial. Fair defensive changes here now set up for the Leprechauns. We're still trying to sort it all out. Moving out to center field will be Preston will be Tommy Pellis. Frilling will now step into the 6th spot of the shortstop. And now stepping on the mound from center field will be Preston Pilot. He'll be pitching left. He'll be going up against here now the top of the order, Blake Crossing, who will be batting right. Here comes the delivery. This will be high, missing. Blake Crossing, number 10, top of the order here after the Mariners batted around the entire lineup. 1-0. Here comes the delivery. This will be low into the turf. 2-0. Again, Crossing a switch hitter, so you'll be batting right against the lefty Pilot here. Wearing number 33, getting his first appearance on the mound. Get you the final line here on Faust. He only went 1 inning, though. Here comes the delivery. Catches the plate there. 2-1 now the count. Faust allowed 4 runs in his inning worked. Not all of them were earned, though. 1 reached on an error. Swung on, popped high into right field, running in, making the catch will be Parks, 1 away. So only 3 earned runs against Faust.
He went 1 inning, gave up 4 runs, 2 earned, 4 hits on 1 strikeout, 1 walk. He will not factor into the decision.
R.J. Williams now steps in his third at-bat. He is officially 0 for 0, though, without an official at-bat, as this one misses outside. He reached on an error and then got to second in the 6th on an error by the same first baseman. Fielding error there by the first baseman allowed him at first, and then on a throwing error by the first baseman allowed him to second. Then he walked back in the 8th. Here comes the 1-0. Delivers missing outside. 2-0 now the count. 1 out. Mariners leading 14-3 with a 12-4 hit advantage as well over the Leprechauns. Here comes the 2-0 delivery. This one will miss low and outside. Ball 3. 3-0 now the count. 1 out. R.J. Williams trying to get his first hit of the year. He has officially, though, had a good on-base percentage. 2 plate appearances, reaching both times. 3-0. This one will miss low, and so he'll be walked again. Walked him on 4 or 8 pitches. This will bring up Chris Myers with R.J. Williams on first with 1 away.
So that'll bring up Chris Myers. He is 0 for 3 today. He struck out looking his last time up.
Chris Myers wearing number 40. 0 for 3.
He had a sac fly back in the 6th inning.
But he sacrificed fly back in the 6th for an RBI, and then he walked back in the 1st. So missing now ball 1. 1-0 the count. Again, the Mariners have torn through the 2 bullpen guys that they faced, and now we're having position players. This one swung on, popped into left, going into foul territory, running in, not able to make the pitch. I believe he also lost his shoe. Rainey did over there.
Rainey lost his hat diving there.
It's actually his hat. It's so far away I couldn't tell. And he ran out of my vision spot where the wall cuts him off. So he did lose an article of clothing. It was just his hat. 1-1, 1 out, runner on first. Mariners enjoying that 14-3 lead, looking like they're going to get their first road win of the year and advance to 1-4 on the year and be 5-4, 1-4 on the road for the year and 5-4 on the year record-wise. Here comes the 1-1 delivery. Try to hold up there, but he goes around. So Chris Myers in the hole, 1-2 now, as he swung at something down in the turf to Preston Pilot, left-handed pitcher. He's actually really just the center fielder from this game. Here comes the 1-2 delivery. This will be popped up and get out of play on the third base side. And the count will remain at 1-2. Count 1-2. Get you some updates from around the major leagues here in a second. But first, the 1-2 here. As Pilot will deliver, this will be high outside, 2-2. The count evens up. Indians have a 4-1 lead over the White Sox in the bottom of the 7th at home in Cleveland. Yankees lead in the Bronx over the Mariners, 6-2. That's the Seattle Mariners. 2-2 swung on, tapped back out of play. Orioles now have a 6-5 lead in Washington over the Nationals. Phillies hold a 4-2 lead over the Cardinals at home. In the second game of the doubleheader between the Cubs and the Dodgers, it is tied at 0-0. Same thing for the Twins and the Red Sox back in Minnesota. Here comes a 2-2 delivery up high, fills up the count there at 3-2. They are tied at 0. Well, Astros tied with the Rays at 1-1 apiece. 3-2 now here for Chris Myers. Check back by Pilot to first. Here comes the payoff pitch. High ball 4, back-to-back walks here by Pilot. Runner on second, R.J. Williams. Chris Myers on first, being walked there. That'll bring up Logan Adams. 0 for 4 on the day, grounding into his fielder's choice his pass time up. He does have a sacrifice fly RBI back in the first. He also struck out looking in the 6th. He'll be facing Pilot here as runner on second. And first, R.J. Williams on second with some speed. May look to run. Ball 1 as this one misses inside. 1-0 the count. Check back. Here comes the delivery. This one misses high on the 1-0 count. 2-0 now the count. And now we're going to have a conversation between pitcher and catcher as Peterson heads out to the mound to talk to his catcher Pilot. Says, look, man, I know you're not used to pitching much anymore, but we need to start throwing strikes here. Can't walk them full. We don't really want to go through our bullpen. How about tacos for dinner, by the way? Okay, I'll head back now behind the plate. 2-0 now the count. Here comes the 2-0 delivery. This was cut on and missed there by Logan Adams. Makes count now 2-1.
The Mets and Colorado are delayed in Colorado.
Here comes the delivery. This one will miss outside. 3-1.
Dodgers beat the Cubs in game 1 of a doubleheader earlier, 4-3.
Count now 3-1 here with 1 out. Runner on second, runner on first. Logan Adams has a chance to reach base here and fill him up with only 1 out. 3-1, 14-3. Here comes the 3-1 pitch, inside and low. Ball 4. All aboard. Choo choo. Here we go, Mariners. Now we'll bring up Ryan Stacy, the center fielder, had an RBI single in his last at bat. He's officially 2 for 3 on the day with 2 RBIs. He also walked in the 6th. So 3 straight walks issued here by Pilot after he got a fly out to right field. With only 1 out, this will bring up Ryan Stacy, center fielder, who batting left, of course, against the left-handed batter. Here comes the delivery. Outside, but looks like he'll frame it well. 0-1.
Ryan Stacy. And the Nationals are now in their 3rd consecutive series of interleague play. They played in Toronto.
Here comes the 0-1. Popped well in to center. Running back, trying to make the catch, and he will. Tagging and heading home will be R.J. Williams. Tagging and going to third will be Chris Myers. So a sacrifice fly there for the RBI. That'll be the second one of the day for Ryan Stacy. It'll be his 3rd RBI in the game. And we now have a 15-3 lead in favor of the Mariners. And you know what? I'm thinking the Leprechauns may just want to wave off having to come out for that 9th inning. But they'll go ahead and do it anyway, because they have to. 15-3 your score. Joshua Riggs now steps in. He is 2 for 4 on the day with a couple of RBIs, and he also walked and had a stolen base back in the 6th. Swung on and missed here by Riggs, 0-1. Pilot will look in. He'll gather. Check back to first. He will deliver. This will be popped high by Riggs. Going through the first base side. First baseman runs in, makes the catch. Will be Furness to end the inning. On the pop out there in foul territory. In this inning, there were 1 run scored, or no hits, no errors, 2 men left on base. We will now head to the bottom of the ninth. Leprechauns' last chance as they trail by a total of 12. 15-3, your Mariners lead. Tommy Pellis, Adam Furness, and Jackson Peterson due up for the Leprechauns. Thank you for listening to Mariners Baseball. Be right back. Andrew Loudermilk will come back out for the bottom of the ninth. The Mariners have a 15-3 lead. It's all but a sure thing here from Siena Heights University, the baseball field. Here, stepping in will be Tommy Pellis. Pellis was moved out to center field after starting the day on shortstop. He is 1 for 3 on the day. Pellis, Furness, and Peterson as Loudermilk steps in. He will set and deliver. Swung on and missed. 0-1 now the count here to Pellis. 15 runs scored for the Mariners here today as this one's inside missing, ball 1. 1-1. 12 hits for the Mariners here today, and again, the bats are working for them. And so are the scoring and the pitching and the defense. As this one misses in again on the 1-1, now making it 2-1, 2 balls, 1 strike. Reminder that the Mariners will be back here to finish out this series potentially and more than likely looking for a sweep as this one's hit. Blake Crossing cannot make the play as this will get off his glove and into center field, and that'll be a base hit there. A leadoff single there for Tommy Pellis. That'll bring up Adam Furness. Adam Furness, the first baseman. 0 for 2, walked in the 7th inning, though, when you faced up against the second Mariners pitcher today in Jonah Jenkins. Here comes the delivery. This one will be popped high. Doesn't even get into the outfield, just barely, actually, as second baseman Van Aker comes in and makes that catch. There's one away for Jackson Peterson. 1 for 3 on the day, struck out back in the 7th. He registered 1 of 4 hits for the Leprechauns, the first of 4 hits. Back in the 3rd, he will bat left-handed against the righty Loudermilk. This one swung on, tipped back, and out of play. 0-1 now the count. 0-1 the count. 1 out, man on first. Loudermilk on the mound. 15-3. Here comes the delivery. Runner heads to second. Not even a throw. They're just going to go, fine, go get in. We have bigger and better things to worry about here as a stolen base there for Adam Furness. Here comes the delivery. This one will be popped into the outfield, running in, and Riggs will make the catch. Runner scampers back there to first. There are now 2 away on the F7. Adam Furness returns to second. And there are 2 away. Tommy Toll will now step up. The last hope. 0 for 3 on the day. His most recent at bat, he did reach first after striking out, but he reached on the wild pitch. 2 outs, 15-3. Loudermilk delivers. Catches the inside part of the plate. 0-1. Loudermilk will look in. Tommy Toll, the batter, batting left, delivers inside. Great gather up there and blocked by Adams. 1-1 the count now as that one misses. Check in here for Loudermilk. A look back. Delivers. Popped down the third base line. Myers will gather it. Throws it over to first. And that'll be the game. On the 5-3 assisted ground out. That will end the end. No runs scored on the 1 hit. No errors. The 1 man left on base. Mariners walk away here with a 15-3 victory. And they start a 3-game winning streak as they advance to 5-4 on the season. I'll step aside. I'll come back with player of the game, as well as final closing remarks. You're listening to Mariners Baseball right here on YouTube. Do not touch that dial. Welcome back out here to Siena Heights University. Winning pitcher for the day will be Michael Parsons, the left-hander. He'll advance to 1-0 on the year. Jeremy Spezia will be your losing pitcher. For Spezia, he will fall to 0-1. Your player of the game for the Mariners. It's a couple guys you could choose from, but I think we look no farther than Ryan Stacy. 3 RBIs to his name. He was 2 for 4. He's actually officially 2 for 3. And he walked back in the 6th. He stepped up 6 times to the plate. It did something productive in all but 1. Back in the 7th, he flew out. So that'll about conclude it here. By the way, I meant to mention it here at the top of the broadcast, but it kind of escaped my mind in the pace of play and all that. And then when we got into it, the Mariners head coach, Jacob Burke, stepped down. He accepted a position out in, I believe, out in Missouri. So he wanted to go be with that team, get to work. But he has stepped down from the team, so Damon Hacker is now the head coach for the Mariners this year. And they are officially 1-0 as Hacker is the head coach. They are 5-4 on the year, and they are 1-4 on the road. That'll just about do it here, but before I sign off, I would like to send out a couple thank yous. First, I'd like to thank the Grand Lake Mariners staff for allowing me to broadcast their entire 42-game season plus postseason. Particularly, I'd like to thank Kevin McGowan, the GM of the Mariners, for signing me on for this internship, allowing me to get the experience, to grow in my craft, to get my internship credit, all that. Thank you, Kevin, for signing me on to do this. I would also like to thank my host family, as well as every other host family, for opening up their homes to me and the Mariners team and staff for the summer, providing meals and being so hospitable throughout this summer. Lastly, I would like to thank everyone involved for making each and every game happen. Of course, keeping the stats, providing me a place to broadcast, providing places to play, and all that goes into making each and every game of this season happen. Be sure to tune in tomorrow, as we will be right back here to face the Irish Hill Leprechauns for the second of 4 times this season and the second of 2 times on the road. That is tomorrow at 7:05, unless it get moved due to rain or anything. That's been a thing here. Here and Siena Heights Field is where they like to move things over. Once again, your final score is the Mariners coming out on top over the Irish Hill Leprechauns by a final score of 15 to 3. I'm Donovan Mann, your voice of the Grand Lake Mariners. Have a wonderful night, and go Mariners!